They take on Air Force. Our pregame coverage with Fletch will start at 6 o'clock, and John will have the tip after 7. And everyone get ready. The NBA Cup final is tonight when the Spurs take on the Knicks. That starts at 5:30. As of right now, it is Knicks by 2.5, according to Vegas. And on Thursday, we get Thursday Night Football on San Diego Sports 760 when the Rams take on the Seahawks. The kick will be at 5:15 after Jon and Jim.
Getting you all set for that drive home. Let's just start the show. Here's Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 1 of Jon and Jim. Now, there's a caveat there. It's a big however. The however is, where the hell is Jim? So, wrong answers only or right answers only. Nobody's going to win anything. What time will Jim appear on the show? He's expected to be here at some point. He's in quote unquote traffic, dog ate homework, right? Tire exploded. Like what's the excuse going to be, Brent? Is it going to be, oh, the holidays, the traffic out there. It's incredible.
I'm trying to think of some sort of like regional Philly-based excuse that he would have.
Right, because he's out in Philadelphia.
There's this big line at Wawa's and
Wawa's. Yeah, if you know, you know. Jim has been kind of on remote assignment for the better part of the last month, which will make more sense in the days ahead. But here's the thing. Jim is experiencing his first winter. You know what I mean? Like, we all know being out here that, you know, winters can have challenges. It could be foggy. It could be rainy. I mean, there's all kinds of weather that can present itself. It's not that it's always perfect out here. By and large, it's perfect out here a lot more than it is in other parts of the country. Well, he's out east during what has been like a record cold spell for the Northeast, where the other day he sent me a picture, was like 6 or 7 inches of snow. And then last night he was so concerned about how is he going to get to the studio in Philadelphia back home. And I was playing tricks on him like he would do to me. I'm like, dude, look out for black ice. And what did I say? He said, man, it was something ridiculous. Something about like, if this is the last time you speak with me. I'm like, dude, you're cooked. But it can be tricky. Like, you're driving at night. There's snow on the ground. There's icy conditions. Like, yeah, it's a different world, right? Like driving in the Northeast compared to driving in the West. So I don't know what it is today. Yesterday it was, hey, drive carefully. There's snow and ice. Today I just think he's like dealing with traffic. So,
I went out to my car and there was ice on the windshield and I didn't know what to do.
Like, listen, if you haven't spent time in the East or in the Midwest, it's not a joke when we say it's a different world. Like, it is a different world. And I think a lot of our listeners, like, there's a lot of San Diegans that have lived in other spots, right? Maybe the military brought you here. Maybe you grew up elsewhere. Maybe you're from here, but you went to school elsewhere and you came back here. Like, you get the point. A lot of the reason why people are here, not the only reason, but one of the reasons why people are here is it is a spectacular climate. Like, I'm not telling anything to anyone that you don't already understand. Like, the climate is unbelievable. And when you leave this climate and you go somewhere like, well, I'll just be in Philly for a couple of weeks and I'm sure it'll be fine. I could just bring a coat. No. It's not just bring a coat. Like, everything changes. You don't go outside. It's cold. It's snowy. It's dark early. And so on and so forth. So is Jim here, by the way? It was all this about 4 minutes. So he makes a huge to-do about this. He's like, I'm going to be late. I don't know if I'm going to make it on time. I don't know if I'm going to be there. Crazy traffic. It's taking me hours. And he's 4 minutes late. After all that, after all the commotion, let's see, he texted me initially at, I'm not making the start of the show. Every road is closed here. Worst commute of my life. And he's 4 minutes late. Here's my advice for Jim, who's not yet on the show, so I can make fun of him, and I will when he's on the show as well. Here's my advice. Leave extra time. Like, if the worst... And is it really the worst commute of your life if you made it to work 4 minutes late? Remember the time I was in LA and I tried to drive to downtown San Diego for a show? And I was like 4 hours late.
All right, here's the deal.
Oh, here he is. No, what do you mean here's the deal?
No. Here's the deal. Because I heard a little bit of this.
Yeah, I would assume.
Okay. Oh, he's 4 minutes late. I have an idea. Just leave earlier. Do you want to know what time I left today, Jonathan?
If I was guessing, honestly, if you texted me at 12:57, I doubt you left that early. I bet you left at noon.
I left at noon.
Yeah, I know you did because you said I left an hour ago.
So
and this drive has been taking you what to get to the studio? About an hour?
About an hour.
And today it took you about 2. Is that right?
It took me 2 hours, yes.
And this is the worst commute of your life?
This was the worst commute of my life.
And you've had a good life.
I have had a good life, yes. The fact that all these roads are closed, and I'm like, where the hell am I? I'm doing this like, anyway, it was, it was awful. I don't want to hear any of it from you. Okay.
Dude,
I don't want to hear,
I drove
you
from
should have
LA
left
to San
earlier.
Diego, it took me 6 hours.
That's great. I don't want to hear you should have left earlier. And then I left right on time. I wasn't like, oh no, I'm going to cut this one close. And as I'm driving today,
yeah,
and I have my maps on, right? Every 5 minutes it increases, right? So it's instead, you're going to show up at,
130, 140, or
140,
yeah.
130. First of all, I was like, we're going to show up at 120 and then 130 and then 140.
That's
and all of a sudden
good.
I'm like, oh, this is not going to be good. And
well, you made it.
So I texted
it wasn't
you
that bad.
Right. I know it's not that bad, but I'm letting you know, hey, just a heads up. I'm probably not going to make it for the start of the show. Because if I didn't text you, you would have been like, where's Jim at? Where's Jim?
I would have just ripped you the same way I did in the first 4 minutes of the show.
Correct.
I told Jim, so he texted me, he's like, hey, I'm not even going to make the show. Just turn around. You're fine. I got it. But like I was willing. I allowed you to punt on the entire show.
I could have. And because I'm a good friend and that I'm a good co-host of you, I decided of yours. I was like, you know what, John? I'm not going to take you up on your offer. I'm going to actually continue this trek through this awful traffic.
It. Well, let me ask you this.
Merry Christmas.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Is it going to take you just as long to get home, would you think? Because was this traffic or road closures or conditions or a little bit of everything? Like when you leave at night, will it be more seamless? By the way, I told Brent, I don't know if you heard that. Yesterday, we were talking about the snow and ice out east, and I had you scared straight. Like you were convinced you were dying last night on the ride home, right?
Yeah. No, yeah. You told me to trust.
reasoning?
You told me to trust my airbags.
That's what I said. Man, I did.
You say, man, just lean into it. Just trust the airbags, bro.
We have them for a reason. And
right,
I said,
they're there to help you.
With black ice, you have no shot. If you end up on the wrong road at the wrong time and you lose full control of the vehicle and you go car first into a tree.
Yeah, not good.
That's why I said just go slow. I said go like 19.
I did. I went like 25 miles per hour.
Were you nervous? Seriously?
Bro, two hands on the wheel at all times. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Dude.
I've never driven in this types of conditions.
Well, we had
before.
marine layer this morning, but now it's about 72 and sunny.
Oh, can't wait for that. It must be nice.
Yeah, it's been really nice. Well, okay, here's the thing. You didn't miss much because we remain in this holding pattern. If you missed Mike Ferrin yesterday, you're going to hear him coming up at 2:30. He has really good perspective on the Padres at the winter meetings, on the other side of them, the possibility of a trade with the Mets, what the Padres might be thinking at this point. We're in a holding pattern is what I was saying. And I don't think the pattern holds for forever. I don't think this is just who the Padres are to start next year. I don't think AJ Preller had a meeting with his top lieutenants. It was like Ty Adcock and Dyson Acosta, get ready, boys. Like, we're done. This is it.
We're done.
But I do think we're going to have to wait to see ultimately what he's trying to do here. Is that something that plays out in the final 2 weeks of December? Maybe. Does it play out in January? Potentially. But I do feel like we're waiting on something. And I'm not talking about, oh, well, they're going to sign some random reliever or a back-end depth piece for the rotation. I'm waiting on a trade at this point. I am waiting on a trade. I don't know when and what and how significant. But at this point, with all this smoke, Jim, there has to be a trade coming. It's not Lindor. It's not Tatis. But a trade has to be coming, right? Sooner rather than later.
I'm waiting on anything.
Right.
I'm waiting on anything. And really, most major league teams in baseball are waiting on anything. The list of free agents that are still out there, Kyle Tucker, Framber Valdez, JT Realmuto, like huge names are still on. Michael King.
Good point.
I don't have the full list in front of me, but those are just a few. There are a ton, and I mean a ton, of players still out there that are free agents. And I know we're talking about trades here, but my point remains, while we're sitting here just sitting on our hands, waiting for anything to happen with the Padres, right? The winter meetings have come and gone, and they did nothing, as we predicted, by the way.
Yeah, true.
like 100% called that. They did absolutely nothing. It's not just the Padres. It's all of baseball. And I'm wondering if the impending lockout of next year has anything to do with it. Or does the lockout next year have nothing to do with it? And this is just par for the course for Major League Baseball, sitting on their hands during the offseason portion where they should be making news, and yet all these teams are crying poor and deciding not to sign any players.
Maybe it's a little bit of both. I think you bring up good points. Like I'm at MLB.com right now looking at the top 30 available free agents. I know, to your point, we're talking trades, not necessarily free agents, but it tells the story.
Right.
There are so many. Like of the top 5, 4 remain available. We're talking about Kyle Tucker, Alex Bregman, Schwarber signed, and then you have Bo Bichette and Cody Bellinger. Those are the top 5 available free agents in baseball at MLB.com. 4 of them are unsigned. And then you look at the top 30, and yes, you have some players that have been posted that are coming over from Japan, but you do have players like Michael King or Ranger Suarez. So your point is a valid one. The fact is, there's been years where there's been very little movement, and this year feels like another year where there's been very little movement, and maybe now we have the cover of, well, a lockout is coming. Maybe that's the reason as to why. I don't know, though. I really don't know the reason. I don't know what it is. Do teams... I don't know. I mean, do teams fear what's on the other side of this in a year? Teams don't typically operate like that. Like I wouldn't think that, the Chicago Cubs are overly concerned about the lockout coming potentially at the end of 2026. Is that the way you can conduct business? The way I look at it locally is maybe there is a little bit of a holding pattern because of what's playing out with ownership. Like I think the ownership story matters in San Diego, but does the fact that there's a lot of free agents still on the board matter because a lockout is pending in a year? I don't know. I have no idea.
I just think this is also kind of a baseball problem. It's always been a baseball problem in the modern era here, especially the last however many years, for as long as I can remember. It's just such a slow burn in the offseason. Like you'll have bursts and it's like, whoa. Like I remember when we were in San Diego for the winter meetings, or when the winter meetings were in San Diego, and it was just like bang, 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 bang. Now, it probably felt like that to us because the Padres were in the middle of everything. But I'm sure there were like 20 plus teams that were like, this is a bunch of nothing. Why even report on this? Why even talk about it, right? It's not like you have every single team's flagship or, radio there on Radio Row. It's a very slim Radio Row. Usually it's the New York teams. It's, maybe Boston. There's some Philly. But other than that, there's not a plethora of radio stations covering the winter meetings. Why? Because nothing happens for most of these teams.
Good point.
And it's just like, it sounds like I'm complaining, but I'm just pointing out facts here. The baseball offseason is one of the worst off seasons for any professional sports in the country because of how slow it is, how this thing drags out, and there's no definitive like free agency starts and everything goes crazy. Like free agency started weeks before the winter meetings, guys, and still very, very, very little activity.
Here's what I want to do on the other side. We'll hear from Mike Ferrin coming up at 2:30 if you missed him yesterday, because I think it's a really good conversation. How many of the top 30 free agents in baseball are tied to the Padres? How many are tied to the Padres?
I like this game.
MLB.com. Is it more than 10? Is it fewer than 3? We'll share that with you on the other side. Plus Mike Ferrin at 2:30. Dave Velasquez, San Diego State men's basketball assistant, will join us at 3:30. Aztecs have Air Force coming up tomorrow night at Viejas Arena. Then Arizona, the number 1 team in the country, they'll be in Phoenix to take on Arizona. That is coming up on Saturday. Do we have 3 pairs of Aztec tickets today? We do. We're giving away 3 pairs of Aztec tickets today
nice.
for tomorrow's game. It's very nice. And we'll give away the first pair of those tickets on the other side of this break. So we have a pair of Aztec tickets for you. We'll give away on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere. Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, Jon and Jim, we're giving away Aztec tickets for tomorrow night in the next 7 minutes. Plus, Dave Velasquez, San Diego State men's basketball assistant, will join us coming up at 3:30. If you missed Mike Ferrin, MLB Network Radio, you'll hear that coming up, our conversation in about 10 minutes. So if you're wondering, Jim, I don't know if you are.
I'm not wondering anything.
How
right
many
now.
of the top 30 free agents are the Padres tied to at MLB.com?
Oh, I'm wondering that. Yeah.
Throw out a number. It could be, 30 would be the max. It'd be high. They were tied to every player.
Mm.
The minimum would be 0.
Mm.
How many do you think they are tied to per MLB.com? Potential fits.
0.
It's higher than that.
Really?
It is higher than that.
Is it lower than 2?
Kind of. Because it's actually 2, but 1 I'm taking off the board, and that's Michael King.
Okay.
Who they tied the Padres to. I don't buy it for 1 second. Okay. So maybe at some point, the only player that the Padres are tied to is a 37-year-old right-handed starter who's reportedly already signing, and that's Merrill Kelly.
Is he going to the Yankees?
Is it the Yankees?
Or no,
or is he going
he
back
was,
to the Diamondbacks?
I thought he was back to back to the Diamondbacks.
So that's reported. I do not think that's official, but that was reported like earlier this week. So the 2 players the Padres are tied to, they have no business landing. Michael King, who's reportedly down to 3 teams. One of them is not the Padres. And then the other player they're tied to is Merrill Kelly, who's 37 and is apparently going back to Arizona on a 2-year, $40 million deal. So that's the state of the Padres via free agency, which is why all eyes are on the trade market and on these rumors involving the New York Mets, because the Padres, I guess, don't have money. I mean, if they can't be in the Merrill Kelly market, 2 years, $40 million, then they're not going to be in the market for the other 29 top free agent players.
Exactly. I think this whole thing all along has been towards the trade market. I don't see a world where they're going out and spending a bunch of money. I just don't. And with that, that's why it's like, it makes it harder when you have to go out and make literally all these trades to try to fill your roster, because it takes 2 to tango. With the free agent market, you can go out and you can offer a guy money, and yeah, you got to at times compete with other teams and whatnot, but like, it's much easier, wouldn't you agree, to sign somebody than it is to pull off a big time trade?
Yes, and especially now with what you mentioned in the first segment, there are players that are available. There's not 10 suitors for every player. Like you can go out and make a signing without breaking the bank, so to speak. I don't think the Merrill Kelly deal is crazy. $20 million a year. You're not getting starting pitching for less than $20 million a year.
No, you're not quality starting pitching, by the way.
Right.
So that's the price right there. Unless you want to try to go out and get, projects. But again, the whole notion of like, hey, we're going to get this guy and just stick him with Ruben Niebla, and Niebla's going to make him great. You can't always do that. Ruben Niebla is awesome, but that's not fair to continue to go to the scrap heap and be like, hey, we got this guy over here. Do you think you could turn him into a guy that can give us 150 innings? Like, what? He's got a 5 ERA in his career. What? So proven major league talent is something that AJ Preller covets. So when he trades, he wants to trade for proven major league talent. Signing guys, like, it's just, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see, because we keep hearing trade. And if they can't pull off these trades, because they're not easy to pull off, then where do they go after that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at these free agent starting pitchers, and even Merrill Kelly, who was listed as maybe the 10th best free agent starting pitcher. The 10th best free agent starting pitcher just got $20 million a year and is 37. So when you start getting to that lesser tier, guys that had like a 2-WAR season or worse, well, the issue there is they are massive question marks or potentially liabilities or a waste of money. I mean, right?
Yeah. And it's not just the pitching market. The fact that Ha-Seong Kim got a 1-year, $20 million deal last night from the Atlanta Braves, like, huh? Like, he's a nice player, but $20 million for 1 year? I don't know. To me, that's absurd. I don't know what you think, but I think that's absurd.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're basically spending $20 million on a player that can field his position. You know, I've never been a big believer in doing something like that. I mean, has this guy ever hit in the major leagues? His career OPS plus is below major league average. It's 97. He is 3% worse than major league average as a hitter throughout the course of his career. Yet he got $20 million a year. And I'm with you. So, like, you got to pick your spots right now if you're AJ Preller, if you're the Seidler run Padres. And I'm not forecasting $20 million signing after $20 million signing. I'll be somewhat surprised if they reach for one $20 million signing like they did last year with Nick Pivetta.
And if they do, it's going to be some weird, like, crazy opt-out and stuff, right?
Yeah. Right. 7 1-year contracts, right? Totaling $90 million, but it's really like a $4 million deal.
Right.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they navigate this. Mike Ferrin has much more on it. If you missed our conversation with MLB Network Radio's Mike Ferrin, you'll hear it on the other side. We did promise you Aztec tickets for tomorrow night against Air Force. The final run through in the Mountain West for San Diego State begins tomorrow night at 7 p.m. at Viejas Arena. And caller 7, you have 2 free tickets to see San Diego State and Air Force tomorrow night. 2 free tickets to see it tomorrow night at Viejas Arena. 877-767-4760. Call right now. 877-767-4760. Terrific giveaway. Call right now. You'll hear from Mike Ferrin on the other side. Dave Velasquez, longtime San Diego State men's basketball assistant, will join us live at 3:30. This is Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, and live on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, this update is brought to you by Staples Stores. Couple moves made in baseball. Right-handed pitcher Adrian Hauser and the Giants have agreed on a 2-year, $22 million deal. Jeff Passan reporting that. And last night, Ha-Seong Kim agreeing to a 1-year, $20 million contract with the Atlanta Braves. And this update's been brought to you by Staples.
All right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. We've got more pairs of Aztec tickets to give away today. We also have a 4-pack of tickets to the San Diego Auto Show. Dave Velasquez, San Diego State longtime men's basketball assistant, will join us at 3:30 as well. But if you missed our conversation with Mike Ferrin, MLB Network Radio, a lot in here for Padres fans. We started out by asking him about last week's winter meetings.
Yeah, so like from our standpoint for hosting radio shows that were great because we had everybody we needed, and we have like a car wash for basically 8 hours a day with 2 shows where we just go guest to guest to guest. From a fan perspective and an action perspective, they kind of stunk. There just wasn't anything really that went on. It was also a new hotel that they used this time in Orlando as opposed to one of the Disney properties. I don't think anybody could find anybody because there were like 2 separate bar areas. It wasn't great, but at least we had it in here. Hopefully they'll avoid a lockout and we'll get it next year because we're supposed to be back in San Diego.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. Perfect. Speaking of San Diego, obviously AJ Preller always in the news regarding, the winter meetings and potential blockbuster moves. When you talk to people and you see what the Padres potentially are trying to do here, what do you make of essentially everybody being in trade discussions and the possibility the Padres and Mets could line up on a deal? What are your thoughts on the recent news about, everything that's happened with the Padres so far?
Yeah, I think the Padres are trying to leave no stone unturned in how they can revamp this roster without having to dip deeper into payroll considerations. So I don't think that there's really much that's off the table. Like, I feel pretty confident that they're not going to trade Fernando Tatis Jr. and that they're not going to trade Jackson Merrill and that they're not going to trade Manny Machado. And that still leaves a lot of players that could be available. And I don't think that they really want to, leave any avenue blocked off. So I think that's where a lot of this comes from. The Mets are looking to add depth and rotation help. And I think that there are some players on shorter term deals that probably appeal to them. I think that there are probably some players that the Padres would love to have access to that are some of the young controllable starting pitchers that the Mets have. Nolan McLean isn't going to get traded, but I think Brandon Sproat and maybe even Jonah Tong makes sense. But I also think that a lot of this probably gets blown up because it's the Mets. And I think that the Padres undoubtedly are having trade talks with just about everybody because that's AJ Preller's style. So I wouldn't put a ton of stock in this yet getting done. Doesn't mean that won't happen, but I think that this kind of fits under okay, that's interesting. Both these teams are trying to find ways to reshape their roster. Maybe there is something there, but trying to complete a 1-for-1 trade is difficult enough. Trying to do something as complex as what the Padres and Mets are talking about probably doesn't happen. Although I would love to see it because we haven't had a good 7-8 player deal in a long time.
Yeah, and if it happens, it could involve AJ Preller and the Padres. Mike Ferrin with us right now, MLB Network Radio. Just as an aside, Mike, can you put in perspective the deal that AJ Preller is on right now? He's under contract through 2026. There's been discussions apparently both ways about extending that deal. Is it abnormal or not for a general manager coming off back-to-back 90-win years, he's been here 10 plus years, to be entering the final year of a deal? Does it have any impact at all or not?
I don't want to say that it has no impact on decision making. I think if you're a free agent, you want to know who you're going to be working for. But I would say that it probably is a pretty minor thing currently, especially because it sounds like both sides are working on an extension, right? So I think my guess is that some of this is born of the fact that, obviously Peter Seidler passed and there has been the lawsuit by his widow, and that there has been some uncertainty in what the ownership group was going to look like. And so my guess, it's probably one of processing a lot of different things that it didn't get sooner. And AJ, to me, is the kind of guy who doesn't need to have a contract extension right away. He's not one of those guys that's going to be pushing the envelope for it. It'll get done when it gets done. So I've heard nothing since about September, well, I would say early October, that would lead me to believe anything other than AJ being in San Diego beyond this year. There was a time where I wasn't certain of it, and I think there were some open jobs, and maybe if teams had pushed, they would have had an opportunity to get permission there. But I think with the sale and the uncertainty going forward, I would be really surprised if they don't end up coming to an agreement, because it certainly sounds like they've been talking about it, and who knows when that'll come. So I would think when he got named president, that happened probably in like January, I want to say. So, this at this point, I would guess it probably happens after the holidays.
Just a general question here, Mike. When you see a team going through a sale, the Padres are obviously going through one right now. How much, in your experience, have you seen that impact the team's off-season priorities, off-season moves, spending money, not spending money? How do you view that?
Yeah, I don't think that there's one way that I can categorize that. I think for the most part, teams show, I wouldn't say the teams always show fiscal restraint going into a sale. I think back to when the Tribune Company sold the Cubs, and this is going back almost 20 years now, but they knew that they were going to put the Cubs on the market. And 2 years before that, they spent a ton of money on free agency in an effort to try and boost their chances of winning, in the hopes of boosting the franchise value. So I think that there are some teams that look at it this way. I think there are others that are just paralyzed by sales, and that they don't do anything. I have nothing to indicate that the Padres aren't going to operate as they have been operating the last year and a half or 2 years. They have a budget. They know what the budget is. They're going to work through that. They're probably not going to be big spenders like they were under Peter Seidler, but that they're going to try and be as flexible as possible to keep the payroll in a similar range to where it is. And, that's really not all that different than what they did last offseason. So I don't think it's going to end up having a huge impact. I think if you were to be too stagnant, that it might draw some negative attention from potential buyers. But I just think they're in a position right now where it's kind of the regular course of business. I don't really see anything that's gonna make that feel a whole lot different.
Mike Ferrin, MLB Network Radio, with us right now on Jon and Jim. So I guess I'm curious to get your perspective on just where the Padres are, and do you see it as like a tightrope act where they have needs like the back of the rotation? There's other needs in there as well, and they're trying to get back to the postseason, and they're on this budget like most teams in baseball are, outside of like the Dodgers, the Mets, and a few others. As in, can they walk this tightrope effectively once again, or how challenging will it be this time around in 2026?
Yeah, it's never easy. When you have a budget, you're always and you're up against it. It's not easy to do, but I think the fact that AJ Preller has managed to walk that tightrope the last couple of years should give you confidence that he's going to be able to field a very competitive team. Listen, if they roll it out right now, they're going to have one of the best bullpens in the National League, and they still have a really good lineup if they don't make any changes. And so what do they need? They need a couple of starters, right? Joe Musgrove should be back at some point. That'll help some. I'm not sure that they're deep enough in their system to rely entirely on that. So they probably need an external addition or two. But it's not like they're working from, a roster situation that's like Washington's. They're working from a pretty good team. So I think that's part of where the reluctance to do anything, super big is that you don't want to break up this core. Tatis and Merrill and Machado is still, even though Manny's getting older, is still a pretty good troika. Add into it that I really liked. I think we talked about it last summer, like the Freddie Fermin trade. Like they finally have an everyday catcher, right? That's somebody that they've needed. So they've filled a lot of these holes that they have. And in some cases, like with Fermin and, some of the other starters that they'd acquired over the last 2 years, they did it relatively inexpensively. Now they gave a lot at the deadline last year to try and make pushes, but they have a pretty solid roster overall. So I don't think it's going to be something where I don't think it's any more difficult than any other team has. I think that there's a constant woe is me that comes from having a budget. I mean, listen, my wife puts me on a strict budget, and it's woe is me around the house all the time because of that. It's probably smart on her part, but
that's hilarious.
Definitely understand that one. So looking at the rest of baseball here, Mike, what do you think the next big move to happen is? We got a couple at the winter meetings, but not a lot. What's your sense on what could happen here next?
Yeah, I think as to what happens next, I would think that there's going to be a trade for Brendan Donovan at some point this week. It certainly sounds like the Giants and the Mariners, you heard that going back to the winter meetings, were the two teams that were maybe positioned best. I think the Michael King market should get moving here. I think that's another guy that could come off the board. He has a number of suitors. I think those are probably the biggest ones this week. Maybe you get another one of the big position players like Kyle Tucker before Christmas. But I think there's going to be some trade discussions too. I do think it'll be pretty active over the next 10 days because I think a lot of people would like to get their business done before they start opening presents. Or at least a good chunk of it, knowing that they can come back in the first week of January and finish it up. And I think that that's probably more like when Bo Bichette will sign. But I think that there's a couple of moves that are similar to those that could happen here. And, you never know. Everything's always a one phone call away, right? So if somebody suddenly blows the Diamondbacks away on Ketel Marte, that deal could happen any day. But I don't think that that's going to be, right. Yeah, that one could drag on for a little bit, just depending on what the way the rest of the market goes. The other name I should mention is Murakami, the Munetaka Murakami, who's the slugging corner infielder from Japan, who's young, strikes out a lot, and hits for a ton of power. His posting deadline is a week from today. And so at some point in the next week, he's going to agree to a deal with someone. So we know the date on that. And it has to be done by the 22nd. There hasn't been a whole lot of buzz on where he's going to end up yet. He's a really talented player, but the strikeouts are a little bit concerning. It could be that he is a little bit Joey Gallo-ish.
Ooh, interesting. A name you've heard tied to AJ Preller for forever.
Yeah.
What's the budget? What's the dollar figure you're looking at, a ballpark for Murakami?
Man, that's a good question. I don't know. I mean, he's got age on his side, right? Those tend to be the players that get bigger deals. And he has light tower power, but there are some pretty big concerns about the swing and miss. I mean, like, he struck out a really high percentage of the time in a league where strikeouts aren't as prevalent in Japan, and he has had trouble handling velocity. And he's probably a first baseman, not a third baseman. So, I think that there's this feeling that it's going to be in the $150 million range, and maybe that is true. Maybe it ends up being 6 years and something like that, but it's a tougher sell just because of the quality of contact issues. Kazuma Okamoto is the other big hitter that's coming from Japan, and he is more of a complete hitter. He's on the wrong side of the platoon. He's a right-handed hitter. He's probably a first baseman too. He doesn't have the same kind of power. It's probably more average-ish power, but it's like, he might be a similar kind of hitter to a Christian Walker type with a tick less power. He's a good player. He's about 4 years older, I think, than Murakami. I think he'll play at 29. I really like Okamoto. If I had to pick between the two, if it were just like, hey, you need to sign this guy for the next couple of years, I think I would probably take Okamoto because I just think he's a better hitter. But Murakami offers tantalizing upside because there's just not a whole lot of guys that age that are freely available who can hit the ball to the moon.
Mike, love the insight. Appreciate you hopping on in San Diego. Happy holidays. Maybe under the tree will be a 7-player deal between the Padres and the Mets on Christmas Eve.
You can only hope.
I'm still holding out for the 5-pound box of money. But,
yeah, I'd prefer that as well. I think Padres fans want that too here in San Diego. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. We'll do it after the new year.
No problem. Take care.
All right, great stuff with Mike Ferrin. We've got Dave Velasquez, San Diego State longtime men's basketball assistant, joining us live at 3:30. Plus, Tom Brady with some advice for Patrick Mahomes after ACL surgery. That's next on Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. Dave Velasquez at 3:30. If you missed Demetrius Sumler, he is the interim defensive coordinator for the Aztecs football team. You'll hear that conversation at 4:30. It was announced within the last hour that North Texas's quarterback will enter the transfer portal, Jim. The nation's top quarterback in terms of passing yardage and touchdowns, I think, is the North Texas quarterback. Now, he is expected to play in the New Mexico Bowl, but he will enter the transfer portal after that game.
That's interesting. Usually that doesn't happen, right?
Normally it would be the other way around. You'd enter the portal and you wouldn't play because what if something happened to you during the game?
Exactly, because you want to make sure you get that money through the transfer portal through NIL.
I mean, this guy's going to end up anywhere he wants. He's a redshirt freshman. He threw for 4,129 yards.
Maybe he'll transfer to San Diego State.
I mean, maybe he'll transfer to the NFL, truthfully, off that year. I was going to send you a video because I just searched his name in Twitter. You got to see some of the throws this guy's made this year. I'll send you a tweet.
Okay.
Of a couple of the throws he's made. This guy is like Patrick Mahomes, but better.
Oh, perfect. Well, Dylan Raiola, Patrick Mahomes light enter the transfer portal as well.
Saw that.
I saw one of the funniest tweets like ever the other day after Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL. It was a picture of like somebody freaking out. And the tweet was Dylan Raiola realizing now he has to tear his ACL because he's like, he copies everything Patrick Mahomes does.
No, that's terrible. I mean, it's interesting. Like the ACL, like there's an article at masslive.com that covers like the Patriots about Brady's advice to Mahomes, and essentially paraphrasing, it is a tough road ahead, and you got to treat it like you're treating anything in football. Like you need to prepare as if you're getting ready for a season, even though you're also rehabbing. But I'm thinking about this, like the ACL in football. Is it a little bit like the arm injury to pitchers? Like there's almost like an inevitability to it. Like
everyone tears their ACL.
Everyone, and it's not position dependent. I mean, you look at Micah Parsons, you look at these quarterbacks. Obviously, what's happened with Mahomes, doesn't it just seem like there's almost not an inevitability, but it's happening at a high rate.
I do think that the notion of bigger, faster, stronger is a factor. Again, not a doctor here, so I'm not going to claim this is the reason why. It's just, I don't remember, and I could be 100% wrong. Like, go back 25 years.
Okay.
Were there this many ACL injuries in the NFL 25 years ago?
I think there were more head injuries. I feel like with lower hits come more knee injuries in general. I'm not talking about this specific example, but I think in general, more knee injuries occur because there's less head injuries occurring.
I would tend to go with that. Yes. I just think that the game is as violent as it's ever been.
Yeah, definitely.
These guys are beasts. I mean, it's ridiculous. I see these hits on Sundays and I'm like, yo, if I ever got hit like that, I'd be done. Like
the Rivers hit 2 days ago.
I know.
To his ribs.
I know. And how the fact that I forget who said it, but it was a perfect, I think it might have been Rich Orenberger.
Okay.
Perfect example of the NFL. It's, especially being an offensive lineman and a defensive lineman, right? It's a car crash every play. Like every play is a car crash. And so, of course, there's going to be just a plethora of injuries everywhere. And, the ACL, because of the torque and the fact that, like, these guys are going at it and one wrong move, boom, your ACL's gone. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm curious to see, like, the amount of ACL injuries in the NFL 25, 30 years ago compared to now. Because it feels like every single week there's a major injury to a key player on somebody's team. And this week, Mahomes and Micah, right? Earlier this year, it was Nick Bosa. There's been other ACL injuries. Malik Neighbors. I think I saw, a list of like all the players that have suffered ACL injuries this year, and there's some big time players there. It's ridiculous.
So I just asked ChatGPT, are there more ACL injuries in the NFL now than 25 years ago? And I don't know the answer.
Oh, good. Nice. That's awesome.
We don't have clear peer-reviewed evidence showing a consistent increase in ACL injuries now versus the mid-1990s. why people perceive more ACL tears today. More media and social media. Players are bigger, faster, and stronger. So bottom line, there's no solid long-term published trend confirming ACL injuries are more common now than they were 25 years ago. But I agree with your general idea. I mean, but then again, I don't know, dude. If you go back to the 1990s, it's recency bias. I remember when Randall Cunningham got hurt the first game of the year against the Packers. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. And again, Randall Cunningham in 1991. I'm not saying he was Tom Brady in 2008 or Patrick Mahomes in 2025, but I'm saying there's plenty of examples over the course of time of star players going out due to knee injuries, unfortunately. Sure. And I don't know what you can do to stop that, truthfully. I mean,
there's nothing
what are you
can
do? Play tag?
Nothing you can do. And by the way, this quarterback for North Texas,
right? Look at that throw I sent you.
He that throw out of the end zone to the sidelines
is a beautiful throw.
He might be the greatest quarterback I've ever seen in my entire life.
Exactly. Patrick who? He's going to be drafted first overall in about a year.
Who? Brady who? This guy's amazing. Drew Mestamaker.
Well, that's the task for San Diego State. A week from Saturday, we'll hear from Demetrius Sumler, their interim defensive coordinator, coming up at 4:30. Dave Velasquez, San Diego State longtime men's basketball assistant, will join us at 3:30. We'll get back to the Padres plus the NFL. Hour 2, Jon and Jim on San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app is next.
All right, this update is brought to you by Staples Stores. Baseball news. Jeff Passan reporting a little while ago, right-hand pitcher Adrian Hauser and the Giants are in agreement on a 2-year, $22 million contract. And last night, the Braves and Ha-Seong Kim agreed to a 1-year, $20 million deal. Have an easy holiday only at Staples. Save on custom cards and custom wrapping paper, plus shipping supplies and services to get your packages delivered safely. Don't miss out on select laptops up to 45% off. Visit staples.com for details. Staples, that was easy.
It's Jon and Jim.
Let's face it, in your particular field, you're the top minds.
Your favorite pair.
Interesting job you guys have.
Very smart and very modern.
They are Jon and Jim.
That's all you need to know about me.
Congrats to SDSU cornerback Chris Johnson, the second-team All-American. And are the Padres on the verge of something huge? Now live from the studios of San Diego Sports 760, it's Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 2 of Jon and Jim. We are with you until 6 p.m. We've got great giveaways for you over the course of the next couple of hours. We have 2 pairs to still give away for San Diego State's men's basketball game coming up tomorrow night against Air Force. We'll give one of those pairs away after we talk with San Diego State assistant coach Dave Velasquez coming up at 3:30. We also have a 4-pack of tickets to give away to the San Diego Auto Show, and we'll do that here today. So a lot to get to. We're going to hear from Jim Bowden, MLB Network Radio, coming up with a really dumb take that's been circulating on the internet. You'll hear that from him shortly. My question for you is this, Jim, before we hear from Jim Bowden.
Okay, what do you got? I'm waiting for the question.
My question is this.
You just pause, just don't ask the question?
No, I was waiting for you to reply, but then I realized you're probably not listening.
I am listening.
My question is would you watch Jon and Jim on Netflix?
Sure.
Okay, well, you're not going to have that opportunity, but it was officially announced today that Netflix and iHeart have partnered on video podcasting. There will be 15 major video podcasts on Netflix starting in 2026. Now, I don't really know what these are. The Breakfast Club, Bobby Bones Presents, My Favorite Murder. That's probably about us as well.
The Breakfast Club is with, it's in New York. It's with Charlemagne, the God, or whatever his name is.
There's other Dear Chelsea with Chelsea Handler.
Okay, so basically you have to be like a celebrity to be on this, right?
Well, that's what it appears as if. Yes, like these are big hitting podcasts that get probably hundreds of thousands of listens a month, maybe millions. So 3 and Out with John Middlecoff is on the list.
Seriously?
Yes.
Wow.
3 and Out with John Middlecoff is on the list. That's the only sports podcast I want to say. I feel like we should have been on this list is my point.
Good for him.
Yeah.
I like John Middlecoff a lot.
What's that pay?
Well, he gets taken care of by the volume. So
all right, so that's also through like iHeart because Colin Cowherd has a deal with iHeart, right?
Yes.
Although I don't even know if it's technically through iHeart. But anyway, 15 podcasts coming to Netflix in 2026. I feel like that's a good idea, truthfully.
Here's the thing. If you're a media company and you don't realize that video is the way of the future and consuming content through video instead of just straight instead of just radio, right? I know podcasts are also big, but visualization is what I know I can't speak. Visualizing is something that people are doing more and more of, and a visual podcast is the way of the future. And if you're not up to date with that, then I don't know what to tell you.
Have you thought about applying for higher level positions at iHeart? That was beautifully said.
No, it wasn't.
that was really, man, you need to go to some of the higher ups. So you think video is the future? I love that. Man, that would be incredible.
We knew this years ago. And for some reason, they're like now realizing this.
Well, listen, partnering with Netflix, there's worse partners to partner with. In the video space.
They are a partner to partner with, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this.
Okay.
Do you honestly think that this would benefit the Jon and Jim show at all?
Man, that's such a good question. If the show is actually streamed on Netflix, would it benefit the show?
No. I meant like, do you think because iHeart and Netflix are now teaming up that they're going to just, help out all these stations across the country that are want to stream?
I don't think they're going to be taking all the money they make from 3 and Out with John Middlecoff and be like, we need to fund Jon and Jim in San Diego now. We have all this extra money.
Another question.
I do think that video podcasting is going to become more prevalent at iHeart, if that's what you're asking me.
Yes, that's what I'm asking.
Yes, I think it 100% will be.
I only think it's going to happen with like the bigger shows.
Maybe. Oh, yeah, maybe.
Like, yeah. But also, how many people actually know in the building that we actually stream on YouTube every day?
I think people realize that we're on YouTube. I don't know if they are watching the building, but I think people realize. Listen, you don't need to sell me on video. On
no,
YouTube,
I know.
On the power of video. I'm 100% on board. Shoot, if anything, if I'm putting something on Netflix that we do, I'm probably putting the wrap-up show on Netflix. Truthfully.
100%.
Again, I don't know what kind of national appeal there is for it, but there is in San Diego. All right, so Jim Bowden. All right, he has a response to those that are against what the Dodgers have been doing, right? With all the spending and the winning and the this and the that. I don't know if this needs to be set up beyond that, but this was Jim Bowden.
I tell people as fans, you don't have to be a Pirate fan. You can retire as a Pirate fan or trade yourself to the Dodgers. If you want to see your team win, right now, the Dodgers have got the best chance to win a World Series again this year. So if you want to win, you as a fan, you can go to any team you want. You don't have to root for the team that's your home city. And you can see the Dodgers come play in your home city. They'll come into Pittsburgh and beat you. So look, if it bothers you that much, just become a Dodger fan. It's fine.
Oh,
that is so dumb. I mean, that is very dumb.
It might be one of the dumbest sports takes you'll ever hear. Like, oh, cool. My football team has never won a Super Bowl. Then you know what? I'm just going to be a fan of the teams that always win. Like let's just be a fan of the Yankees or the Dodgers or in football, the Chiefs before Mahomes, died yesterday or, screw it. I don't want to root for my team that I've been rooting for my entire life. I'm just going to switch and be a Dodger fan.
Well, what kind of sport is that? Do you want everyone rooting for the same team? That's so stupid. Like it doesn't work like that. Like, no, if you went to Purdue, you got to wear it and watch Purdue football. Those are the rules. You don't get to switch to Notre Dame. If you went to Indiana, now you're reaping the rewards. Your football team sucked for 50 years. They didn't win the Big Ten since 1967 until a week ago. Well, guess what? You're on the other side of it. Like, that's ridiculous. That whole concept. I mean, because the Pirates aren't good, I should then choose another team. Now it is on the Pirates to try to be better than they've been. I do buy that. But that is insane to speak about that and pretend like you're being honest. Or like, does he really believe that, or is he trying to make a joke?
I honestly, I don't know. It's Jim Bowden, so who the hell knows? I think he was being serious, honestly. Like, unless if you like work for a team or if you cover a team or whatnot, like that's a different story, right? Because we've seen all the time, like, oh, I work for so-and-so, but I grew up a whatever fan, right? Like you can, like, that's totally different. But if I'm just an average Joe fan that has a 9-to-5 every day, that has no affiliation with any sports team or any media outlet to cover a sports team, and this is who he's talking to, by the way, dumbest take you've ever heard. Dumbest take ever. It is so stupid because the beauty of sports is to, go through the highs and lows with your team and to, like you said, follow your team through the mud to then hopefully one day see your team like Indiana reaping the rewards of following that team for how many years sucking. And now, if you're an Indiana fan, this is the greatest moment of your sports fandom life right now. And I bet you if you ask all Indiana football fans or just Indiana fans in general, hey, would you go through the last however many years you've been an Indiana fan to get to right now, like for this 1 year? They would all tell you, yeah, I'd absolutely do that.
I mean, one of the best recent examples of this, and I know you switched affiliation from the Kings to the Warriors, but would be the Golden State Warriors, who from 1970 whatever until 2015 were terrible. I mean, they were among the more downtrodden franchises in the sport for the better part of 40 years. I remember living in a world where the Golden State Warriors were on the same stratosphere as like the Cleveland Browns. Like they were an also ran, a completely nothing in the NBA until they weren't. But like, yeah, if you could just get off the bandwagon and go choose that's just ridiculous. I mean, again, we all remember those kids that we grew up with that rooted for Cowboys, Lakers, whatever, or Cowboys, Bulls, whomever. Like we all know those people, but yeah, I have much more respect for the fan that follows his team through good and bad. Like the Padres fan.
Yeah.
The Padres fan is a perfect example. Shoot, I almost cursed. The Chargers fan, truthfully, I have no issue with the Chargers fan because the Chargers fan has had to wear it for the better part of the last half century.
I mean, the Charger fan, I think, is dead, but no, like the true Charger fan is dead.
Some of them, not all of them. I don't.
Not all of them, but look, that whole thing with the Chargers died in 2017 or 2016, whenever they moved. I forget the exact year. I think it was 2017.
After 2017.
Yeah, the Chargers died. Okay, they then were reborn as the LA football team that currently has a really hard time generating interest in LA. Still.
So are you more of a proponent? That's an interesting dichotomy then. Are you more a fan of a Chargers fan leaving the Chargers for another team? Or do you respect more a Chargers fan sticking with the Chargers because it's actually that much harder to have done since the 2016 season?
No, I gravitate and I guess respect, I guess whatever you want to call it, the Charger fan that left the Chargers when they left San Diego.
So more of the Jim Bowden.
No, because this is different. It's not like the Pirates are leaving Pittsburgh and then Pirates fans are like, screw this, I'll be a Dodger fan now. Like that's when you're a diehard Charger fan, San Diego Charger fan through and through, and the Chargers give all San Diego fans the middle finger and turn their back on them and go to LA. I am totally good with if you're a Charger fan and you leave that team, 100%.
Are you good with someone staying with the team?
To each their own. I would have done what I think most Charger fans did, which is also turn my back on the Chargers if I was ever a Charger fan. Tell them F you and just move on. And I don't know how there are some Charger fans out there, former San Diego Charger fans that don't even really watch football anymore.
Sure.
Like they just don't want to watch football. And I totally get it. I don't know how that feels because I've never been a Charger fan. Right. So yeah, I mean, it's again, there's probably some Charger fans that never have lived in San Diego, or at least have lived in San Diego, but then moved away and they've been away for a long time. And them moving has no effect on them because it's like, I didn't go to Qualcomm every Sunday or whatnot, but like there's a lot of fans that went to Qualcomm every Sunday and that got ripped away from them because the owner is a greedy a-hole.
I would love to know what percent of people that were diehard Charger fans are still diehard Charger fans. We'll never know the answer to that. Is it 10% or 90%? It's probably somewhere in between. To the point that Jim Bowden made, it's a ridiculous point. Like, oh, you can't keep up with the Dodgers, just join them. That is not a good life lesson. I'm just saying in general terms, that is not a good life lesson. So I completely disagree with it. And it's on the heels of what Joel Klatt said yesterday, which is like group of 5 teams in the playoff is bad for football. Okay. Interesting life lesson. Like, okay, if you can't play at Ohio State, then, okay. If Ohio State isn't winning the national championship, then it doesn't matter to me. All right, we can continue the conversation on the other side. Plus at 3:30, Dave Velasquez, San Diego State longtime men's basketball assistant. He will join us live. Aztecs getting ready for Air Force. We'll give away tickets coming up later this hour. If you missed Demetrius Sumler, San Diego State's interim defensive coordinator, you'll hear a conversation coming up at 4:30. This is Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. Dave Velasquez will join us coming up at 3:30 after a conversation with the longtime Aztec men's basketball assistant. We'll give away tickets for tomorrow night, San Diego State and Air Force. Dare I bring up a text message off the text line? You probably can't even get in the text line, can you?
What are you talking about? Of course I can.
It's
I can do everything, John.
It's changed.
Oh.
Like in terms of you have to have like the authentication method has changed. That's why I ask.
Oh, you're right. What is it?
Well, you can't. I mean, I have no idea. It's like different based on your account. I have no idea.
It's individual.
It's individual.
Well, that's stupid.
So it goes straight to like my phone or whatever. But anyway,
I can't.
On the text line, that's why I asked. 619. Dare I open this can of worms? I'm going to do it. It's a 4-hour show. Jim, how do you wrap your head around the Niners playing in a different city than San Francisco? Them keeping the name San Francisco 49ers is enough for you? LMAO.
So when I asked Giants fans and Jets fans, they play in New Jersey and not New York.
Now, they've always played there.
Okay. What about, I don't know. I'm sure there's another team that doesn't play like directly in the city limits, right?
There's a lot that don't.
There's a lot of teams.
Yeah. There's a lot that don't. I guess the example with San Francisco is they went from the city to how far? What, an hour?
Yeah, San Jose.
Yeah. Or wherever it is.
Yeah. So read that text again.
The text says, Jim, how do you wrap your head around the Niners playing in a different city than San Francisco? Them keeping the name San Francisco 49ers was enough for you? LMAO.
Yeah, it means everything.
Interesting. So if the Chargers, that is interesting. I agree. If the Chargers kept the name San Diego Chargers but moved to LA, I don't know if you can do that.
If they changed it to Southern California Chargers, maybe it makes a difference.
For some, I think it would, probably.
But when you attach the word Los Angeles in front of the word Chargers, these San Diego Chargers are dead.
Yeah.
So yeah, it means everything. The name means everything. And there was a lot of discussion around that time about, wait, can they just name the Chargers the Southern California Chargers?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that will help keep the San Diego fans while also trying to breed new LA fans, because you're not labeling the team as a Los Angeles based team. You're labeling it as all of Southern California, right? You're expanding. I think that would have made a world of difference. Now, I do think that a lot of fans would still say peace out FU, and they have the right to do that. And I probably would be in agreement with them. But I also do think that there would be a lot of fans that said peace out bye FU, that because if the Chargers, had their name be the Southern California Chargers, they would be still fans of that team. So the name means everything, texter.
Not just the name, they're also in the city of Los Angeles. You can't get beyond that.
I get it. Yeah.
If the Buffalo Bills move to New York City, it's the same state, for example, they're no longer the Buffalo Bills. Like, I don't care if you're going to keep the name the Buffalo Bills. I mean, shoot, if Buffalo moved to Toronto, they did that 1 year or a couple of years. They played half their games in Toronto. Remember when Green Bay played half their games in Milwaukee?
Oh, by the way.
And it's different because they're rival cities also.
Yeah. And by the way, this texter who thinks that they
owned you?
Are getting me on this. So the Niners moving to San Jose is not even comparable to the Chargers moving to Los Angeles. San Jose is a part of Northern California. And yeah, while it's not in the city limits of San Francisco, San Jose is like the most neutral place ever. There's nothing there to like it's just.
What about the Sharks?
Yeah, exactly. The Sharks are in San Jose. And so I just think that's a dumb argument that Texter's trying to use on me.
Are the Niners in San Jose?
Or no, yeah. They're close to San Jose.
Okay,
yeah.
Close to San Jose. Gotcha.
Yeah. They're pretty close. They're pretty close, yeah.
No, I mean, you can't compare. It would be like if the Philadelphia Eagles moved to New York, they're not the Philadelphia Eagles anymore. Like LA and San Diego, I think it's equitable. are comparable to like the level of fandom and like animosity, hatred, maybe the right word, maybe not, between like New York and Philly. You're not gonna swing it. San Diego and LA, you're not gonna swing it. There's no other way to look at it, really.
Right.
Like, yeah, I mean, the Chargers could have kept the name if it could have gone anywhere else, but they went to LA. Could have gone to Riverside, could have gone to Orange County, could have gone to Chula Vista. Why are we talking about it? Because on the text line.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, why does that texter think that he or she
owned you?
Yeah, because they didn't. Like, it just obviously I can't see it because now our freaking text line doesn't work, for me at least.
Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm not at all. But yeah, you don't. It's not what you think you're trying to get out of here. Like you're not. Your point is not coming across how you think it's coming across.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my bow on a comment would be like, if the Niners moved to Oakland and kept the San Francisco 49er name.
Yeah, but no, that couldn't happen.
What would have happened? Well, sure, it could have happened. I mean, why couldn't it happen? Oakland left.
True, but it was never going to happen.
No, I agree. I'm just saying in general.
Mm-hmm. Also, too, by the way, like you have to remember here, the Niners, their training facility has always been there. So they moved. They had their stadium be built right next to where their training facility has always been.
I see what you're saying. You're saying the training facility was near where the current stadium is?
It's now attached to the current stadium.
Gotcha.
So they've always trained there, right? And so now they just moved that stadium and put it there. It's. I mean, you can try to say the Niners aren't the San Francisco Niners anymore, but you're still wrong.
All right, Dave Velasquez, San Diego State men's basketball assistant on the other side, will join us, Aztecs and Air Force, tomorrow night. We have tickets to give away. We'll do that on the other side as well. Then the Aztecs have Arizona coming up Saturday night in Phoenix. This is Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, and live on the iHeartRadio app. Right, hey guys, it is Jon and Jim again for the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. It is now open, the hotel and spa at Jamul. It is the next level of luxury. You can treat yourself to a stunning new stay, rooftop relaxation, indulgent spa treatments, and all the thrills of Jamul Casino Resort, now all in one unforgettable destination.
And savor San Diego's ultimate endless dining experience at Jamul 23, from their world-famous lobster brunch served every morning to the luxurious VIP endless dining experience each evening. Indulge in chef-created specialties, fresh seafood, prime cuts, and decadent desserts, all with stunning panoramic views.
You're going to love the spa. It is now open at Jamul. You can unwind in style, experience pure relaxation with indulgent treatments, serene spaces, and a retreat designed to refresh your body and mind. Only at Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place.
All right, this update is brought to you by Staples Stores. Couple of signings in baseball to report on. Right-handed pitcher Adrian Hauser and the Giants have agreed on a 2-year, $22 million deal. And Ha-Seong Kim is signing with the Atlanta Braves. He already did on a 1-year, $20 million contract. And tomorrow night, San Diego State takes on Air Force at Viejas Arena, 7 p.m. tip time. 6 p.m. pregame. Listen right here on San Diego Sports 760. Have an easy holiday only at Staples. Save on custom cards and custom wrapping paper, plus shipping supplies and services to get your packages delivered safely. Don't miss out on select laptops up to 45% off. Visit staples.com for details. Staples, that was easy.
All right, so Jim just mentioned it. Tomorrow night, San Diego State and Air Force at Viejas with pregame coverage at 6 p.m. Of course, you're going to hear it right here on San Diego Sports 760. We have a pair of tickets to give away for that game. We'll do it after our conversation with Aztec men's basketball assistant Dave Velasquez. Back with us right now on Jon and Jim. So, Coach, as always, we appreciate it. Getting ready for Air Force tomorrow, coming off a back-to-back really good defensive efforts in the last 2 games against Lamar and Utah Valley. How do you feel about the progress in general? First of all, thanks for hopping on. Secondly, how do you feel about the progress you're making specifically on the defensive side?
First off, John, appreciate you having me as always. And yeah, I mean, we're making strides on that end of the ball. You know, I think it's taken us time to get back to where, you know, we'd like to be defensively. And I think some guys with their injuries and not having enough time to get into a rhythm just because of everything that they were going through. I feel like now we're getting into more of a rhythm at practice, which allows you to then play better in games. And I feel like since we got back from Vegas, I feel like our practices have really done a much better job of having a focus on getting better defensively and taking more of a stand, taking more pride, having back the San Diego State mentality. That's defense wins championships, and that's where we're at, right? We're trying to get to right now, and we're growing towards that every day.
So Air Force tomorrow night, and then this upcoming weekend, you're facing the number 1 team in the nation in Arizona. You know, how easy or how difficult is it to keep your team on track here to make sure you don't look past Air Force tomorrow night, that you stay on the course here and make sure that you guys don't, you know, look ahead towards, you know, Arizona this upcoming weekend?
You know, one of the things is we're trying to win them out west. And the other thing is, that last time we played Air Force at their place, it took a game-winning basket. So there's not like, to me, it's one of those things where our guys have to understand, and I think they have done a great job of locking in on the scout. We've had, you know, since we practiced Friday, Saturday, now Monday, Tuesday, getting ready for Air Force, and our guys have done a good job in film, did a good job on their preparation so far. And there's obviously they're going to be looking forward to playing the number 1 team in the country. I don't think there's any doubt about it. I mean, it's the same thing when you talk about, you know, you're going to conference and you got a game, and then you might be playing the first place team that weekend, and you can't ever overlook it. And I just feel like, you know, that's part of having older guys and guys that have been in the program that understand, especially in league and even out of league, but especially in league, every game is important. And if we're trying to win them out west, we got to start tomorrow on the right foot.
San Diego State and Air Force tomorrow night. Again, we have a pair of tickets. We'll give them away in about 10 minutes. So BJ Davis has just had an unbelievable start to his year coming off the bench for the Aztecs. What has impressed you most about the way he has embraced his role and, you know, played his best basketball in it?
His just ability to just, you know, stay aggressive and get to it right away off the bench. A lot of times for guys, it takes them a while to kind of get into the groove and the rhythm of a game. And for BJ, you know, he comes in with the mindset of a scorer's mentality of playing downhill, putting pressure on the defense. And then when we score, he picks up that ball 94 feet, and he's just been able to really lose himself in the competition of the game, which is what you need, you know, want every player to do, which is just go out there, make the absolute most of your minutes. And it's been interesting to see how consistent he's been in doing that off the bench, you know, and everybody has a different role for our team, but for his role to be that consistent so far, and we got to continue to try to keep him that way. It's been impressive, and we're going to try to do everything we can to keep BJ in that same mindset and mentality when he steps on that floor.
Inserting LZ Harrington into the starting lineup for you guys, how has that been, and how do you think he's handled, being put into that starter role?
It's been good. I mean, for us, for LZ, he earned that spot in terms of when he coming in and as the point guard when he was coming off the bench, and he's done a good job of continue to stay who he is. And obviously, if you're playing the point guard spot, it's a lot like a quarterback in football. You're driving the bus. So you're not just responsible for your own play, but you also have a lot of responsibility for his teammates. And, I told him the other day, every game writes a different story. And every, sometimes it's foul trouble. Sometimes it's, maybe the other team's doing something that's making you uncomfortable, but every game has this different story. You just got to stay the course, continue to learn. He's a freshman. He's a freshman playing around a bunch of guys that have had a lot of time out there, but for what he's doing as a true freshman, not a redshirt freshman, he hasn't been in college very long, but for him to come in and do what he's done, he's shooting the ball so well from the field right now. And, he's going to continue to get better at that point guard spot. And we have a lot of faith that his best basketball is in front of him.
Dave Velasquez, San Diego State men's basketball assistant, with us right now on Jon and Jim. Again, we'll give away Aztec tickets in the next handful of minutes for tomorrow night. We've touched on this. You've talked about it ad nauseum all year and offseason. The depth. And right now, I think the Aztecs are averaging 42.5 bench points per game, which is insane. It's one of the top totals in America. Can you speak to the complexities, though, like the benefits of the depth, but also the challenges of the depth right now and moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's both. I think that's fair to say at this point. I mean, I think when you look across box scores across the country, you don't find 11 guys consistently playing, close to double-digit minutes every single game. And the hardest part is, and this is where you got to give them all a chance in that first half. And then as that goes, that's when Coach Dutcher can not necessarily shorten, but kind of go with guys a little bit longer. And what ends up happening is those first guys, some of them might have been playing pretty well or might need to play longer. But if you're being honest and giving everybody, who's earned the right going into that game opportunity to play, it sometimes can get in the way of some of the other guys that might be out there playing. Now, it's something we're continuing to manage. It's something that we're continuing to look at. But with what you had just said, it's obviously working to a degree. Yeah. I think it's I don't know if this is a fact or not, but I heard Coach Dutch say the other day, I think we're number one in the country with points off the bench. I don't know when that became a bad thing, and I think that's, to me, that should be looked at as a positive. And again, you have to realize too, right now we have those 11 guys are healthy. And when you're coaching a basketball team, you don't always have that. And so we have that depth right now, and it's going to continue to help us. And to me, it also helps us we play so hard defensively, or we're supposed to play so hard defensively. It's not always been at times this year, like you mentioned, but it's hard to play big minutes. I think if you look at Coach Dutcher's career, since he's been the head coach, there's not very many guys. It's a handful of guys that actually average over 30 minutes a game anyways. And so you have Reese, I believe Reese and Miles Bird are both averaging 28 minutes apiece right now. I mean, that's close to those high minute guys that Coach Dutcher usually has. So it's not that far off. It's just there's more of a mix of guys between 15 to 20 than you usually see.
Is it fair not to compare the team to what played out in 2022-23? Because that's unfair, obviously. I mean, in 2022-23, we didn't know how it would finish. It would end up in a national championship game. But are there some similarities with depth where you have you have future All-Americans coming off the bench that year in Jaden Ledee, and you had unbelievable players, the Micah Parishes, the Iguoka Ropes, and that team had so much talent and it had so much depth. Are there similar conversations or similarities because of the depth you enjoyed then that what you're experiencing right now?
I think you know me well enough. I don't like to compare too many teams to that team, however, but I do think the one thing that's is a similarity to have this conversation is you never really know who's going to finish that game. I don't think tomorrow night we don't know who the 5 best guys that are going to finish that game. Now, it's not always going to be the starters. I've used this example 100 times with this team. When the final shot was hit by Lamont Butler, I believe there was only 2 starters out there, Lamont Butler and Nathan Mensah. Those other 3 guys that are in the game are coming off the bench. So to me, it's, that's where the depth really helps you in terms of, that night, that game, that team, whatever, those 5 guys, that finished the game, it could be different almost every single game. And I think if you look at that NCAA tournament run, I think it was different every single game almost, in terms of who the 5 guys have finished. So in terms of, we don't know which guys are going to probably finish the game, which I think is a good thing. I think our depth it's really going to help us out. As the Mountain West Conference schedule is grueling. I mean, it just is, and we're not even close to there. It's like, with this 1 game a week thing, and the 9-day break early in the year, it just hasn't felt like we're just getting game after game after game. I mean, we're 6 days removed from our last game, still talking about it. And then moving forward, in our next 6 days, we'll play 3 games. We'll play Wednesday, Saturday, Monday. And so I just think, as the season goes and games pick up and things happen, I think our depth will be a huge strength for us.
Reese, so far this year, he's played well, and there's some times that he's struggled a little bit. How difficult is it to return after a full year off and then to be expected to go out there and be that same player right away, that you were before the injury that he had last year?
Yeah, I mean, I think what he's done is, you just kind of feel the ebbs and flows of a little bit of a coming back from injury, in terms of some nights are good and some nights aren't as great. But you just have to continue to trust the process and continue to put your head down and work. And the thing that Reese has coming for him that's a little different than most people is when he goes on the scouting report, I mean, he's known as the one guy you don't let them get going. Don't let Reese Waters start to get comfortable. So the scouting report's to not let him get going. And there's, there has to be times and ways for him to somehow find a way to get in rhythm when the other team's entire scouting report is don't even let him catch the ball. I mean, he's already had 2 games this year where it felt like he was just denied all over the floor and just, hey, let the other guys beat you. Well, as time goes, I'm not sure if that's the best scouting report for our team, as we just talked about the bench points and the firepower from other places because of the depth. And so it'll be interesting to see how teams scout Reese. I think that has a lot to do with it. But Reese is a guy, he's one of those guys when you're around him every day and you see how good he is at practice every day. Like, this is going to be a great sigh of relief. We're going to feel so happy for him when it happens because we know it will happen. He'll start to get into a rhythm and he'll start to shoot the ball better. And, with saying all that, his shooting numbers are actually they're okay. They're not where we want them to be, but they're nowhere near as bad as they could be. Let's just put it that way.
Dave Velasquez is with us right now. One more from me, Coach, before you go. We're not going to talk to you before Arizona, so I need to ask you about Arizona. Yep. I mean, this team's undefeated. They've got all the top 25 wins. They've got the youth, but they've got the experience. And then I just think about San Diego State and Arizona. I mean, some of the great back and forth games and what they've meant. I go back to Maui or 2011 and 2014. I guess just from 30,000 feet, just this game coming up on Saturday, it's a huge opportunity, obviously, for your program to take on what right now is the number 1 team in the country in the Wildcats.
If we're going to talk about old games, let's talk about the time where Tim Shelton took 6 charges and we won at Arizona. There's been some exciting basketball played against with both teams, and they're no different than they've always been. And it's gonna, they're going to be super talented, and they're really good offensively, and they play really hard defensively, and they have talent all across the board. And it's one of those games as a coach, you get so excited to play almost because you know how locked in and how excited and how, at that shoot around, you got to almost calm your guys down a little bit, and say, hey, let's we got a game tonight. Let's not get too fired up. And it's a great opportunity for us. And like an old Coach Steve Fisher line, opportunities are seldom labeled, and there's others that come with a big red bow on it. And with Christmas coming around the corner, I felt like that was appropriate because this Arizona game is coming with a huge opportunity for us with a big red bow on it.
What year was that, by the way? The Tim Shelton 6 charge game?
Oh, I want to say 2009, maybe.
I was just kidding.
2008, 9?
Yeah, okay, before my time, but 2009.
He took 6 charges in one game at Arizona, and we won that game at Arizona. It was a heck of a win for us.
All right, that means caller 6. You have 2 free tickets for tomorrow's game against Air Force at Viejas Arena. 877-767-4760.
Hey, guys, we got to talk on one thing.
Yeah.
The San Francisco 49ers, and I grew up there. When I grew up in Sunnyvale, which is they're not in San Jose, by the way, they're in Santa Clara. The San Francisco 49ers, you don't sit in Santa Clara. I mean, you don't sit in San Diego and say, hey, I'm going to go grab dinner tonight in LA. When you grow up in Santa Clara or San Jose or Sunnyvale, sometimes you go see the Christmas lights in San Francisco. It's just all one big area to us up in the Bay Area. And if they went to Oakland, maybe they're still called the San Francisco 49ers, to be honest with you. to me, we're talking apples and oranges. You've never, LA and San Diego are two different things. Santa Clara and San Francisco are about the same.
There you go,
Exactly.
Jim. That's in Jim's defense. That's well said.
It's the same thing. It's not.
Got your back, Jim.
Here's
Thank
the thing.
you. It's the same thing.
Do you have 4 hours a day, Dave? Do you want to work on the show? 2 to 6?
He's got more important things to do.
I appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Coach. Dave Velasquez. We'll see you tomorrow night. Dave Velasquez here with us on Jon and Jim. Again, 877-767-4760 if you want 2 free tickets for tomorrow night. Aztecs and the Air Force Academy. The wrap coming up at 4 p.m. with Jon and Jim. Hey guys, it is Schaefer again, and there is no better time than now to get down to your local Toyota dealer with new vehicles arriving daily, including the most popular cars and trucks and SUVs. So whatever kind of vehicle you're looking for, you can hurry into your Toyota dealer today, or make sure to head to Toyota.com if you're looking for a great deal on a new Toyota. There you can check out all the latest offers and search inventory. Finding the Toyota that's just right for you starts at Toyota.com. Toyota's Beyond Zero lineup of electrified vehicles helps to create a greener planet. Toyota's Beyond Zero lineup supports a greener planet with a wide range of electrified vehicles, including hybrids and plug-in hybrids and fully electric vehicles, or take each day further than you thought possible in a new Camry with its stylish looks that'll make an impression wherever you go. See your Toyota dealer today and discover what makes Camry legendary. There's no better time than now to get down to your local Toyota dealer. Get your local Toyota dealer today or Toyota.com. That's Toyota.com. Your Toyota dealers, we make it easy. All right, San Diego Sports 760 congratulates our $5,000 winners. And iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. There's still time for you to nominate a public school teacher making a difference. Maybe they'll be one of our next winners of $5,000 to make over their classroom. Help us say thank you to the educators shaping our future. Nominate your favorite teacher now at iHeartRadio.com/teachers. A lot of San Jose, Santa Clara, Niner, Raider, Oakland, everything talk.
Well, it's
hour.
No surprise that I have no idea where the Niners play.
I
right?
was a little, I was caught off guard when you started talking about San Jose. I'm like,
I meant Santa Clara. I don't know why I kept saying San Jose, but I meant Santa Clara.
Okay.
I'm an idiot. What's new? Dave Velasquez put me in my place, but at least he agrees with me.
He agrees with you.
Right.
Yeah, and I agree. The general point, to beat a dead horse, is that, of course, San Diego and LA are polar opposites when it comes to sports.
Right.
Are they topography-wise or climate-wise, are they similar? Yeah, they're in Southern California. Like, there's similarities between like the beaches of San Diego and the beaches of Orange County, right? But it's a different world. When it comes to sports, that was my point on like New York and Philadelphia or New York and Boston. I mean, just because they're close in proximity doesn't mean you could just move one from the other and everything would be cool. Like, I don't think the Red Sox would be accepted very well in New York.
Yeah, no S.
I'm pretty sure of it. So anyway, you can sleep easy is the point tonight, Jim.
I know.
Because
I will.
The Niners are, the Niners are the Niners, to their credit.
Right. They're the San Francisco 49ers. It's the same
Now,
thing.
let me ask you this. Why is it, and tell me if I'm wrong, why is it, I think I know the answer. Why is it that the Raiders have historically gotten more of a pass by being a like vagabond franchise, a franchise that's always on the move, as opposed to others in sports? I mean, the Raiders have been in Northern and Southern California. And shoot, the Raiders are now in the city of Las Vegas. Why is that more accepted than, let's say, the Rams moving from St. Louis to LA or the Chargers moving from San Diego to LA?
Good question. And this is just my guess on this because I truly don't know. But what I've heard from Raiders fans is that the Raiders are more of just like a brand than attached to any city.
Yep, I would agree.
Like when I say the 49ers, it's like San Francisco 49ers, right? When you say the Patriots, it's New England Patriots, or, you say the Giants, it's New York Giants, right? I think the Raiders are just an entity that they could literally go to Connecticut or Idaho and Raiders fans would still follow them there because of the brand, not the city. Like, it's the brand that the Raiders are. Again, good question. I don't fully know, but I didn't see many Raiders fans, and there were a lot.
There were people
sure.
that were mad when they left Oakland.
Right, but there were also fans mad when they left LA as well.
Yeah.
And I think moving for a third time, at this point, it's whatever. That's just my take on it.
What do you got, Brent?
I was going to say, I think they've moved so much that they've really done a good job of embracing the whole Raider nation.
Yeah.
Instead of just being, Oakland or LA or, now Vegas, they don't really do that. They're just, we're Raiders nation. It doesn't matter if you live in, Baltimore or, Cleveland, if you're a Raiders fan, you're part of Raiders nation.
Yeah. At the end of the day, like, it's all of this is a terrible look. Like, the idea that the NFL, how many teams have had to move in the NFL, the richest sport in America, the most consumed sport in America? How many of these teams have been on the move in the last 10 years? 3 of the 32. Am I missing someone? I mean, St. Louis, San Diego, and Oakland have all been on the move in the last decade. There's always skepticism about, what's the Jacksonville future? What's going to happen with the Bills? I know they got their new stadium, but this has always been playing out. And it happens in other sports too. I mean, shoot, we're only like a year removed from the Phoenix Coyotes leaving. Nobody realizes that. Phoenix Coyotes went to Salt Lake City like a year ago. This is the type of thing, a little bit like conference realignment. It never ends. Like, movement in professional sports has been going on for 100 years. My guess is it'll happen over the next 50 years too.
This is how this is a slow offseason so far. We're talking about relocation for NFL teams.
Yeah, true. I mean, it was kind of, I forget how it became topical. It was the text line.
It was a texter. Yeah.
It's calling me an idiot. Topical today, but I find it interesting that, I mean, it'll come up for forever in this city because the NFL left this city.
Right. No, you're right. The relocation thing for all sports, right? And in college football, you can even talk about conference realignment, like you said. Like that's realignment, right? Like, you got Stanford in the ACC, and you got, it doesn't make any sense. Like these conferences don't make any sense. Like Oregon's in the Big Ten, right? Washington's in the Big Ten. You got Oklahoma in the SEC.
Yep.
Texas in the SEC, right? It's just, the relocation side of college football is more or less towards conference realignment, and that making no sense.
Yeah, it would be interesting if Stanford moved to Vegas.
Yeah, that wouldn't happen.
If the actual university moved to Vegas,
yeah.
That would be probably even a bigger story than what we've seen in professional sports. We'll get to the wrap on the other side. Demetrius Sumler at 4:30. San Diego State football's interim defensive coordinator. We are here until 6. Hour 3, Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 coming up next.
All right, this update is brought to you by Staples Stores. We'll start with some baseball news. Ha-Seong Kim is going to the Atlanta Braves, 1 year, $20 million deal. And San Diego State takes on Air Force tomorrow night at Viejas Arena, 7 p.m. tip time, 6 p.m. pregame. You can listen right here on San Diego Sports 760. Have an easy holiday only at Staples. Save on custom cards and custom wrapping paper, plus shipping supplies and services to get your packages delivered safely. Don't miss out on select laptops up to 45% off. Visit staples.com for details. Staples, that was easy.
It's Jon and Jim.
Let's face it, in your particular field, you're the top minds.
Your favorite pair.
Interesting job you guys had.
Very smart and very modern.
They are Jon and Jim.
That's all you need to know about me.
Congrats to SDSU cornerback Chris Johnson, second-team All-American. And are the Padres on the verge of something huge? Now live from the studios of San Diego Sports 760, it's Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 3. Jon and Jim, Demetrius Sumler. If you missed our conversation with the Aztecs interim defensive coordinator, you'll hear it at 4:30. We have 2 giveaways coming up over the next 2 hours. That includes a pair of tickets to see the Aztecs tomorrow night in basketball, take on Air Force. And then we also have this 4-pack of tickets to the San Diego Auto Show. If you could have any car at an auto show, speaking of slow off season,
Oh my
if you could just take a car, okay.
Okay. What do you got?
Well, first of all, I've been listening to a lot of like podcasts.
Oh, great. That's awesome.
And one of the podcasts has been about like how a lot of Americans waste a lot of money on cars.
Correct.
Right? Like when you think about it, like when you think about things that people waste money on, like, okay, it's not really wasting money on a home. Like obviously people have like mortgages and you need transportation. Like by and large, you need a car. It's America. What are you going to do? Not have a car? I mean, you can take the bus, but by and large, you need a car, right? But why do we spend like $70,000 on a car when we could just buy like a $5,000 car?
Well, good question.
Because it's America and people just like want to like have a nice car.
Yeah, I mean, the $70,000 car better like make me breakfast while I'm driving to work.
But they don't.
I know it doesn't. But I'm also buying the $70,000 car for like all the bells and whistles.
Are you a bells and whistles guy? Like your car you have right now, did you buy it new? I forget.
I did not buy it new. Okay. I do love me some bells and whistles, but I can live without. I have a 2019 RAV4.
Oh, must be nice. Guess the radio business is going well. Jeez.
But I got it during the pandemic in 2020.
That's right. But that's when prices were high, right?
No, prices were low.
Oh, it was maybe before. Remember when cars became like a really big premium? It's hard to get them.
It's always been hard. Well, I mean,
no, it hasn't always been hard to get them. It was a really hard period of time during the pandemic.
It was, but that's why they were like not selling a lot of cars and they were trying to get these cars off the lot. And they were basically, hey, we'll give you this, 7% AP, whatever, right? Like take it off the lot.
Right.
So I got a really good deal. Mm-hmm. I got a really good monthly payment. And it was like, but the car is like the base model. So it doesn't have all the bells and whistles. Right.
Well, what's a bell and whistle that you're even referring to? Like, what would you, if you could snap your fingers and add a bell and a whistle to a RAV4, what would that be?
I would add better rims. I would add like tinted windows. I would add seat warmers. I would add.
Your seat warmers are clutch.
Yeah. I would add like a sunroof. I would add.
Oh, your car has nothing. Do you have wheels?
I would add better like seats as far as like not leather, but you know what I mean? Like better, whatever.
Like leather maybe?
Sure. I would add like, I don't know.
What does Erin drive? What does Erin drive?
She drives a Subaru. Was
it new or used?
No, it was it was new, but she recently just paid it off and we just took it to the so
that's good.
She just paid it off. So
anyway, it's a long way of me saying that I don't know. People spend a lot of money on cars. That's never been me.
I love when you do that. It's a long way of me saying I don't know.
I don't really know, but what I would say is I guess my initial point about the auto show is if you could snap your fingers and drive any car, what would you drive?
What would you drive?
Me, it would be like a Camry.
Of course I would.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a bell and whistle guy. I just want something that's going to get me safely from point A to point B.
I get that.
But what would it be for you? It would be like a Porsche or something.
No, it wouldn't be. I do love my RAV4 a lot. I do wish I had like a newer version of it. I'm so lame. I would honestly, as my car of choice right now, I would choose like a 2025 hybrid RAV4.
Are you paid off?
I'm paid off in 3 months.
Oh, look at you. So now are you the type of guy though that once it's paid off, are you going to enjoy that? Hey, I'm not paying whatever I am a month, or are you going to go back to the dealer and be like, oh, I want a new car again?
The car I have right now only has 87,000 miles on it.
That's not much.
So that's not a lot, especially for a Toyota.
Right. Agreed.
So because of that, it will be paid off right around 93,000 miles, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Months.
And I gotta keep. I mean, I'm not gonna.
You gotta keep it. You did all the payment. You know.
Yeah. I gotta keep it for at least a couple more years.
It's such a huge advantage to not have to pay the monthly loan.
It's huge.
Freeing up that money, it's such a huge advantage. That's why. Yeah.
And then I can take the money that I would have been paying on my car payments and then invest back into the car, like the stuff that I want, I can get.
Is this a Padres thing? Are we doing a Padres thing with Preller?
What?
Like if you pare down your salary here,
you can
take
off
it and
over
reinvest
here.
It. Exactly.
I wasn't even thinking about that because
I was the way you started saying it there late. Like,
yeah.
All right. Coming up at 4:30, Demetrius Sumler, San Diego State's interim defensive coordinator. Right now, though, let's get to this.
It's time for the wrap. Presented by Sombrero Mexican Food. Check out their website at sombreromex.com.
Whose team would an NBA Cup mean more to, the Knicks or the Spurs?
Well, the Knicks would obviously, it would mean more to because they haven't won a championship in forever. And to win an NBA Cup championship, man, the streets of New York would be buzzing. Am I wrong?
No, I actually agree. No, I don't agree that the streets of New York would be buzzing. Like, I don't think Manhattan would just be, aglow in the holiday season if the Knicks win tonight.
I do.
Over the Spurs. But what time is this game? And I'm serious. Is this at
5:30?
5:30 Pacific?
Yes.
All right, 8:30.
Amazon Prime.
Okay, I'm watching this, Jim. I'm putting this puppy on. I'm heading home, and I'm turning on Amazon Prime, however you do that. I'm clicking on the Roku thing. I don't know what I'm talking about.
What are you talking about?
I will watch this game. Now,
You're clicking on the Roku thing.
The problem is
Prime?
Kristen is away, which means I'm watching Jones because he's my son. And I always watch him.
That's good.
She normally does all this stuff so I can watch Amazon Prime. Now tonight I got to feed him and bathe him, and it's getting in the way of the NBA Cup is the point.
Oh, that's brutal. Can't watch Wemby tonight because you got to take care of your son.
I know.
Wow, that's awful.
Actually, well, meh. Yeah.
Just go tell him to go in his room and play with his cars.
I mean, he could watch the NBA Cup with me.
But he could, but then he could get bored very quickly and want to turn the channel, and then you can't watch the NBA Cup.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. It means more to the Knicks. Next
of course
question.
It does.
They'll probably just ask you why the floor looks so stupid. Is tomorrow a must-win game for the Aztecs?
Yeah, you're playing Air Force. You got to win that game. What's Air Force net ranking, John?
304.
Of course you knew that. Yeah, it's a must-win tomorrow night. You cannot lose to Air Force.
Let me see if I was right. No, Army is 304. Air Force is 303.
You're close.
I didn't check today. Yeah, it's a must-win. Last year, San Diego State, remember how they survived. Wayne McKinney at the Air Force Academy at the buzzer.
That's right.
One of the plays of the year for the Aztecs off a Jared Coleman-Jones screen mid-court. Yeah, not only do you need to win tomorrow, you need to win convincingly tomorrow from a metric perspective. Next question.
Are the Padres on the verge of something big?
That's what Big Voice Guy asked in the open.
I think I'd settle for, are they on the verge of something?
Right. Are they on the verge of anything?
Are they on the verge?
Are they just on?
Do you know what today is? Did you see the tweet?
Today's Don Orsillo's birthday.
Yes, happy birthday, Don. But it's also 100 days until opening day for the Padres.
Wow.
100.
And did they tweet that out?
They did. What, do you have them on mute?
They said, but who's counting?
Yeah.
So, first comment, is this a threat?
That's hilarious.
How about you make a move first before we count down how many days until opening day?
You don't count these moves as moves, the Campy, Hart, Adcock, Acosta?
No, I'm not, John.
If you added those 4 up, would that be one move? No.
Who's counting? I'm counting moves, and right now the moves tracker's at 0.
And it's coming quick, man. Spring training will be here with the WBC. I know it's 100 days out, but they open camps earlier because of the WBC. I think a couple of months here to make some moves. So they're on the verge.
They're potentially on
of something.
They're on something.
Is it big? Stay tuned. Next question.
Stay tuned, everybody.
If you could have any car, what car would you have?
Oh.
I mean, I just said I would be a loser and have a 2025 hybrid RAV4.
That's not a bad car.
Like, if you're talking about like cool cars to have, see, I'm not a big car guy. That's the thing. Like, I don't
spend 10 minutes telling us how much of a car guy you are.
I never said I was a car guy.
You're a bells and whistles guy.
I am a bells and whistles guy, but I'm not like, oh, let me get a 1979 Ford Mustang or something.
Mm-hmm.
See, you're just too specific with it, Jim. I'm not a car person either. That's why I just base it off of like movies. You know, give me like the Magnum PI Ferrari. Give me the Bad Boys Porsche.
Give me the Wienermobile.
I love it. I love it. That's a good answer.
Oscar Mayer's hiring, Jim. You could go drive it.
Perfect.
Do you hear that?
I love it.
Yeah, we just talked about it 5 minutes ago, but whatever. We have a 4-pack. The point is, we have a 4-pack of tickets to the auto show, and we're going to give them away coming up on the other side of a break. How about that? We do have a 4-pack of tickets to the San Diego Auto Show. This is back for 4 days at the Convention Center in San Diego from New Year's Day through the 4th of January, where you'll find the latest brands, test drives. You just test drive right out of the Convention Center. I love that. All new EVs and fun. Tickets must be purchased online at sdautoshow.com. That's sdautoshow.com. That's coming up the 1st through the 4th of January right here in San Diego. We've got that 4-pack of tickets. We'll give it away on the other side. In addition, Demetrius Sumler, San Diego State's interim defensive coordinator, getting ready for the Aztecs and North Texas a week from Saturday in the New Mexico Bowl in Albuquerque. If you missed our conversation, you'll hear that coming up at 4:30. We are here until 6 p.m. We'll give away that 4-pack of tickets to the auto show. Coming up next, Jon and Jim. All right, Jon and Jim, Demetrius Sumler, Aztecs interim defensive coordinator, will join us at 4:30. I have a question for you, Jim. I kind of buried the lead.
Okay, what is it?
What's going on with your Warriors and Padres future owner, Joe Lacob, who's like taking shots at Steve Kerr via email?
What?
Have you not seen this story? The biggest story in Warriors history?
Oh, the Reddit post?
No, there's an actual email.
Yeah, that was posted on Reddit by a Warriors fan.
Yeah,
who emailed Joe Lacob.
And he emailed him back.
Allegedly. It's not like
No. Lacob, because Steve Kerr was asked about it. I don't think it's alleged. I think it's real.
Really?
Yes. There was a follow-up. Steve Kerr was asked about it.
What did Steve Kerr say?
I think he downplayed it. And according to ESPN.com, it says Warriors owner Joe Lacob had a brief email interaction with a fan that made its way to the public. And Lacob basically, expressed his frustration with the fan, saying, yeah, we're frustrated too. You can't be as frustrated as me. I'm working on it. It's complicated. Style of play, coaches' desires regarding players, league trends. Jimmy is not the problem. Talking about Jimmy Butler. And then Kerr said, not a big deal, not concerned about anything like that, acknowledging the email.
Interesting.
So sell the franchise and buy the Padres?
I like that idea.
What's the first email to Joe Lacob when he buys the Padres? What are you doing? Manny sucks.
Yeah.
Manny's not
why can't Fernando Tatis Jr. hit home runs?
Manny's not the problem. It's Craig Stammen. We're working on it.
Yeah. The manager has other interests or I don't know.
What is going on with the Warriors? Because a year ago, serious question. Second half a year ago, they played well. Yeah. Yes, veteran team. Yes, they got hurt in the second round of the postseason, but they played well to close the regular season last year.
Right.
What's currently going on? I know Steph has missed some time. I know he's now back. What's going on with the team?
A couple things. You're paying Jonathan Kuminga $20 million to sit on the bench because he can't play in Steve Kerr's system.
Okay.
The drafting of the front office has been awful. And so the players that you drafted that you're relying on aren't working. You have too many wings. You have too many guards, not enough bigs that can stretch the floor. And because of that, it puts so much pressure on Steph to go nuclear every single night.
Right.
And they don't have, like, the NBA is a wing. Like, you have to have good wings, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Warriors don't have any wing players. Like, Jimmy's a shooting guard. He's not really a
He's
wing.
not a 3. He's like a 2.
Draymond's like I don't even know anymore.
Yeah.
Steph is Steph. And Kuminga was supposed to fill that role, but he can't play in that system.
Mm-hmm.
And he sucks. And then the guy they drafted, Brandon Podjemski, is another guard. He sucks.
Yeah.
He can't dribble. Like, if you're going to be a guard, you better know how to dribble the basketball. He can't do it. They have no bigs. They signed Al Horford. He's like 50 years old. That's not working. Right?
Other than that.
Al Horford 10 years ago, perfect.
Yep.
Al Horford now, not it. And so because of that, they just don't have like Moses Moody and freaking Buddy Hield. Like, it's a really bad roster construction is what it is here. And they just didn't build the roster right around Steph.
Is there any way out during Steph's tenure to point it back in the right direction in the next 1+ years?
Here's the only way they can do it. January 15th is the day that Jonathan Kuminga is eligible to be traded.
Okay.
You have to trade Jonathan Kuminga along with other assets, maybe even Draymond Green. And you have to trade him and trade a bunch of players and whatnot for wing help. And I know that the name out there is Giannis.
Ooh.
I don't think that's going to happen because why on earth would the Bucks take Jonathan Kuminga?
Right.
Unless they attach like 4 first-round picks, because the Warriors have been very stubborn. And they're one of the few teams that have kept their first-round draft picks for after Steph. Like, they've done this by design. They have not traded away the future draft picks because they know after Steph, they're going to suck. And they're going to suck. They're going to be really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And so by keeping their first round draft picks for after Steph, they're hoping that they have just a plethora of top 10 picks after top 10 pick after top 10 pick. Now, do I trust them to make the right picks? No, because the last couple picks they've made have all been failures. Wiseman, Kuminga, freaking Podziemski. Like, there's all these guys suck.
Well, let me ask you this, okay?
And there's my Warriors rant
the
for the
honesty.
day.
If they meet Oklahoma City in the first round,
They're getting killed.
they don't have a shot. They have no shot. They've been terrible on the road.
No, I have a better shot of constructing a spaceship and flying it to Mars than the Warriors have at beating the Thunder in round one.
So you're saying you are working on a spaceship?
I wish I was. I wish I was working on the USS Enterprise, but that's not happening.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Tell me if you disagree. So the Warriors have had all the success since Steph got there, right? What is it, 4 titles in 15 years, roughly?
Yes, John. Pretty good.
So are you cool with it, so to speak? Do you need anything more? Are you okay with mediocrity? With not just mediocrity, but the other side of it too. Maybe there's some really down years in the late 2020s. Are you okay with it because of everything that you've gotten?
I mean, while Steph is still there, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
But this is the life of your team if they're really good. The Chiefs are going to go through it,
Yep.
right?
No, you're right.
Every team goes through it. Like the Patriots went through it. Now, some teams are luckier than others, right? They get immediate superstar right after the superstar leaves. Like,
True.
I mean, Lakers didn't have to wait long before they got LeBron after Kobe and Luka, right? Some teams are just blessed. But
True.
for the Warriors, I mean, it might be a long time after Steph. And honestly, I'm content, but I'm not. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Like, I'm content.
So I ask.
I'm not really, but I'm content because I got to witness 4 championships and 6 finals appearances and, watch every night basically a top 10 player of all time for the last 15 to 20 years.
You're talking about Clay.
I'm talking about Draymond.
Last question on this. What bothers you more? A Niners playoff loss or the Warriors wasting Steph's final handful of years in the NBA? Probably a Niners playoff loss at this point, but you haven't seen them win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, definitely a Niners loss. Now, do I have any faith that the Niners are going to make the Super Bowl this year?
They're like 20-2 right now.
Bro,
all they do is
playing
beat
like the Titans and the Browns.
Is that who they're going to play in the playoffs? If
No.
so, they're in good shape.
I said this on the show. I stand by it. The Niners offense is an offense that I think, with Kyle Shanahan and whatnot, like they could go to a Super Bowl.
Okay.
Their defense with no Bosa and no Fred Warner ain't happening. It's not happening.
Can they win this division and give themselves a shot?
No, they're a wild card team. Yeah. They're not as good as Seattle. They're not as good as the Rams. They could maybe win a wild card game. I think they can.
Yep.
But getting past, the Rams or the Seahawks on the road, or, I mean, really those 2 teams, it's not happening.
Demetrius Sumler, San Diego State's interim defensive coordinator. You will hear from him on the other side. We do have that 4-pack of tickets to the auto show. Caller 4, you are going. Free 4-pack of tickets to the San Diego Auto Show, January 1st through the 4th. Call right now if you want that free 4-pack of tickets to the auto show. Caller 4, you are going. 877-767-4760. Call right now. 877-767-4760. Tickets must be purchased online, by the way, sdautoshow.com. We've got a free 4-pack right now for caller 4, 877-767-4760. Demetrius Sumler, Aztecs interim DC, will join us next.
All right, this update's brought to you by Staples Stores. Baseball news, Ha-Seong Kim signs a one-year deal worth $20 million with the Atlanta Braves. Right-hand pitcher Adrian Hauser has agreed to a 2-year contract with the San Francisco Giants. And tomorrow night, San Diego State takes on Air Force, 7 p.m. tip time, 6 p.m. pregame. Listen to all the action right here on San Diego Sports 760. Have an easy holiday only at Staples. Save on custom cards and custom wrapping paper, plus shipping supplies and services to get your packages delivered safely. Don't miss out on select laptops up to 45% off. Visit staples.com for details. Staples, that was easy.
All right, Jon and Jim, we still have Aztec basketball tickets for tomorrow, a pair of tickets to give away. We'll do that coming up between now and 6 p.m. If you missed Demetrius Sumler, what an amazing opportunity for him. He's the interim defensive coordinator at San Diego State. The defensive coordinator, Rob Orich, has left for Nebraska to be their next defensive coordinator. We started the conversation by asking him how much of an opportunity and challenge this is to take on the number one total offense in the country in North Texas.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be a great challenge. They do a great job offensively. I mean, even defensively, special teams wise, they got a great record. There's a reason for that. So it's definitely going to be a challenge, but that's what we signed up for. We're up for the challenge. I know the players are. I know I am. What more could you ask for in a bowl game? One of the best defenses to go play against one of the best offenses.
Yeah, it should be a great matchup. Today we found out that Chris Johnson was named a second-team AP All-American, first Aztec since 2022 to garner an All-American honors. For you, how has it been to see the growth in him over the year and become one of, if not the best corners in, all of college football?
Yeah, it's been awesome just to be a part of it. Not even just this year. Chris has been here since he was a freshman, and just to see how he's grown and developed as a football player, and just even as a man. That's kind of the reason I got into coaching, is to have a major impact on young men and help them develop on and off the field. And Chris is just such an awesome kid that everything we've asked him to do, he's done it and just continue to get better and better, and trusted us with staying here at San Diego State, and he's kind of reaping the benefits of that now. So, it's been amazing. He's one of the best, if not the best, that I've ever coached. And more importantly, he's just a great person. So, I give a lot of respect. I have a lot of respect for Chris and what he's done for San Diego State.
San Diego State's interim defensive coordinator, Demetrius Sumler, is with us right now on Jon and Jim. Now, Coach, you've been here through some great defensive years, obviously, on the Mesa. You think about all the successes on that side of the ball. What was the key this year from game one until where you are today? I mean, you just look at some of the statistical improvements on defense, whether it's up front with the linebackers in the secondary, a group you've worked with extensively. Like when you look back in the year, what were the primary keys to turning this defense around from last year to this year?
It always starts with the players. And a lot of those guys that are on the defense this year, they played last year. But a lot of those guys, it was their first time as a full-time starter. So, when you're starting for the first time, you haven't seen a lot of things. The game is moving a little fast for you. So it was huge, this offseason. Coach Lewis and our staff did a great job of just retaining our players that had accumulated a lot of snaps, and we knew, they would benefit from that. So that was the first thing, is just returning the talent we had. Obviously we added a couple pieces. And then Coach Rob Orich, man, he did a great job just simplifying the plan for those guys, really understanding what we do well, what we don't do well, and really just trying to emphasize and maximize the things that we do well. So Bobby did a really good job of that throughout the season. The players believed in what we were doing. They knew what we were doing. And then just the culture that Coach Lewis has built here around toughness, around playing for your brother, all those things it all hit lightning in the bottle, and guys played pretty well throughout the season.
Yeah, I just wanted to elaborate on that. The success of the program overall from, 3 wins last year to a chance to win double-digit games this season. Just, talk about how the growth and the expectations have gone from where you guys were at last year to now. It's like this has become now the standard under Coach Lewis here at San Diego State.
Absolutely. We believe in Coach Lewis when he got here, and when he first got here, he said that's going to be the expectation, and he said that's what we were going to do. And I don't think anybody in the program didn't believe him when he said that. So, he's done such a great job of just developing a great culture where the guys can be themselves. They have fun, but they still get to work and still are physical and still, kind of hold on to those things that you need to be successful in football. So it's been awesome to see. Like you said, I've been here through some really good seasons, a few bad seasons. To be back on the winning side, it feels pretty good.
Demetrius Sumler with us right now on Jon and Jim, San Diego State's interim defensive coordinator. As you know better than we do, obviously it takes all units to win football games. How do you feel about the team where you are coming off the 9 wins? Obviously, that game against the University of New Mexico was such an epic game that New Mexico won in double overtime. You've kind of had a chance now to reset. How does everyone feel about kind of where you are collectively heading into this bowl game in a week and a half?
I think guys were a little disappointed with how the season ended for us. Losing that game, which was in our control. We don't make excuses here. So, we lost the game. We had the chance to control our destiny. We didn't do that. So I think, the staff and our players are most disappointed in that. Obviously wasn't able to get in the conference championship due to that. So, I think we got a little bit of a sour taste in our mouth and guys want to go out and finish this thing the right way. We talk about how few teams actually go win 10 games in a season, and we have the opportunity to do that. So I think our guys are excited to get back out there and kind of get that bad taste out of our mouth. If you look back at the season, anytime we didn't really play well in a game or we lost a game, we bounced back pretty strong that next game. So, I believe our guys will bounce back and they'll be hungry and try to go get that 10th win.
I've asked you this before. How does a former terrific running back, I mean, you ran for like 6,000 yards out of San Diego, and I know coaching is unique in that way, but you were a terrific running back. You played in college, you played at Colorado. How do you go from a prep running back to professionally working on the defensive side of the ball?
Coaching is just a lot of teaching, to be honest. And right when I got in the profession as a GA, I was on the defensive side from the start. So I've never actually coached offense. I played offense. I've never actually coached offense. I still understand it. I still can remember some things from my playing days. But ever since I got into coaching, I've been on the defensive side of the ball. And I've been fortunate, here at San Diego to, work under Tony White, who's at Florida State now, and Zach Arnett, who's at Mississippi State, Danny Gonzalez, who's at Arizona, Rocky Long, obviously, Bobby Howell. We had some great coaches here when I first started as a young GA. So just sitting in those meetings and soaking up all the information I could and learning from those guys. And, some of it's trial and error also. Probably wasn't the best DB coach young in my career and had to learn from some mistakes. And just like a player, you develop and you get better and better at it the more you see.
That's really good insight. Before you go, I talked to Sean during his weekly coaches show, and just in general on North Texas, is like, listen, they're an elite offense. You don't just, slow them completely down. You don't shut out North Texas, right? So what will it take defensively? I mean, it's not just defensively, just in all facets. What is it going to take to win a game against a team like North Texas in general?
Yeah, well, they score a lot of points, but they run the ball a lot. A lot of people think when all they kind of highlight is all their passing yards. They're a very efficient run game.
Yeah.
And that's always where we start defensively, is stopping the run game, kind of trying to force them to be one-dimensional. So, we're going to stop the run game. Obviously, they have 13 games of doing what they do at an elite level, and we got 12 games of doing what we do at a high level. So they're going to be themselves. We're going to do what we've done. We're going to line up, obviously try to confuse that quarterback as much as we can because he's a tremendous talent. But we're going to play our game. Obviously, it's what got us to this point. We've had a lot of success doing that. So, we believe in the Aztecs. We believe in what we've built and what we do schematically. So we're going to stick to our guns.
This bowl game, by the way, between San Diego State and North Texas has the most combined wins of any game outside of the college football playoff. It will be played a week from Saturday in New Mexico, back in Albuquerque, a game you can hear right here on San Diego Sports 760. And Demetrius Sumler will be San Diego State's defensive coordinator for it. Coach, we appreciate you taking time for us. Congratulations on all the success this year, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks in Albuquerque, all right?
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, that'll be, Jim, a week from Saturday in Albuquerque, New Mexico, my home away from home.
You basically live there.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not looking at property, but it will be my second trip.
Right.
I mean, imagine if this game was, so I was there for what, Thanksgiving? Yeah, I was there on Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to be there the day after Christmas. So thankfully I'm not there Thanksgiving and Christmas. Like I don't.
But you kind of are.
Kind of am. You're right. It's like I kind of am there, both Thanksgiving and Christmas. But again, that's a game coming up a week from Saturday, San Diego State and North Texas. You can hear it right here on San Diego Sports 760. We'll get back to the Padres and their offseason needs and what's been playing out this winter. On the other side, we're here until 6. We do have Aztec basketball tickets still to give away. A pair of tickets for tomorrow's game at Viejas between the Aztecs and the Air Force Academy. Here until 6 p.m. This is Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, we've got Aztec basketball tickets. We'll give those away between now and 6 p.m. Again, tomorrow night, San Diego State and Air Force. 6 p.m. pregame coverage. Tip-off at 7 p.m. and you're home for the Aztecs. San Diego Sports 760. So we've got those tickets to give away. Are you more accepting? Here's a question. Are you more accepting of the NBA Cup today than we were collectively 2+ years ago when this thing first debuted? Like, does this have a future in the NBA? Is this going anywhere?
Well, obviously it's going somewhere because they continue to do it.
No, I mean, no. Is it going away?
Oh, no, it's not going away. I have acceptance of it. I don't view it as this must-watch television event. I view it as if it's on television and I'm not doing anything and there's nothing else better to watch, I'll turn it on. Am I locked in on it like I would be maybe the playoffs or definitely the NBA Finals? No chance in hell. Now, if the Warriors were in it, would I pay a little more attention to it? Probably. But if they lost, it wouldn't be the end of the world. So it's not going anywhere, but it just has no sizzle whatsoever.
Did you see the report today that the NBA Cup may not return to Las Vegas next year?
Probably smart.
Even the championship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the league remains committed to neutral site finals. They may not be in Las Vegas. Plus, the semifinals will be now in an NBA city.
The semifinals,
no one showed
there's tons of empty seats and it looked horrible.
Yeah, which again was our concern. Remember, we went through the ticket prices. I want to say last week or whatever it was. Like you could get in for like $70, and we're like, well, that's a little weird. For like Oklahoma City and San Antonio, and you can get in for $100 or less. I think that was a concern. So that's interesting. I mean, what was the purpose of putting it in Las Vegas? The sights and the sounds, the glitz and the glamour. I don't think that's worked. You know, I mean, it's fine for us out here in the West in San Diego. Like it's easy to get to Las Vegas. But is there any real reason to go to Las Vegas on a Tuesday night to watch the Knicks and the Spurs? Like that's asking something of people.
Now, again, if you don't have anything to do and you're like, hey, the Knicks are in Las Vegas or the Spurs are in Las Vegas, like, let's go watch Wemby. Like, I can understand that. I can get behind that. Like, if you make a trip out of it. But do you think people in New York are like, we got to fly to Vegas to watch the Knicks play?
No, in New York, I mean, it has a lot of money. There's probably a lot of New Yorkers in Las Vegas just because New York's New York. So there's just a lot of New Yorkers. But I completely agree. I mean, what's the get-in price tonight for this game?
Good question.
I don't really too late to check, but I'll look anyway. I mean, it can't be more than $100, right? Let's see. It's $80. $80 to get in.
$80. That's pretty good.
Yes, it is. I mean, I guess that's good for the fan.
Very good. Look, I think that, you know, we've been at the T-Mobile Arena. It's in the middle of everything, right? And if you, what's today? Tuesday? I mean, it's kind of sucks. It's on a Tuesday.
Yep.
If it was on like a Friday, that'd be awesome. Just go to Vegas, you know, leave Thursday night, get there, or even leave Friday morning, depending where you're at. You know, watch the NBA Cup Finals, go out in Vegas, have a couple nights there, and then come home. Like, that sounds fun.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like appointment watching television, I didn't wake up this morning being like, yo, the NBA Cup Finals on tonight.
You'd have an extra like pep in your step?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, either did I. But again, I'll watch it. I like Wemby.
Bro, you're Mr.
I'm
NBA.
Mr. NBA. I like Wemby. So yeah, I'm definitely going to watch
You're Mr. Wemby.
Now, do I feel like it makes, like, is that something, are you going to say something at the end of Wemby's career? Are we going to be like, you know, 2-time scoring champion, NBA Cup champion? Like, are they going to drop that on us with Wemby if he wins tonight? NBA Cup champion? Probably. What do you got, Brett?
I was going to say, I thought it was interesting. Me and Sammy were talking about this before the show that there's this disconnect between the fans and the league and the players, to where the league and the players, they love the NBA Cup. They're like totally into it. They're all in, but the fans don't give a crap about it. The fans still are holding out hope for the All-Star game and the All-Star weekend, but the league and the players, they don't give a crap about that. So I think it's kind of interesting how, you know, I wish we could get the players to care about the All-Star weekend like they care about this NBA Cup, and vice versa. Because the fans don't care about the Cup, they care about the All-Star game. But the players don't care about the All-Star game, but they care about the NBA Cup for some reason. And the easy answer is, well, they can make the money, but they tried bribing them in the All-Star game too, and that didn't work.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I care about either, to be honest with you, the All-Star game or the NBA Cup right now. Like, I can't put the NBA Cup on the same pedestal as obviously the postseason. Is there any other? Okay, so we're not doing this in football. We're not doing this in baseball. We're not doing this in hockey. I mean, hockey had that, whatever that thing was, that League of Nations. It was massive.
Did you watch a second of it?
Not one, but people love that thing. But I'm not a hockey guy.
I know.
But you're right. I mean, is there any comp between like the WBC? No. And this NBA Cup? No.
I mean, there are moments of the WBC that were cool. I mean, look, going back to the last WBC, Ohtani pitching the ninth.
That's a big deal.
Finishing up with Mike Trout. Like, that was a moment, right?
Yeah.
And I think everybody, when they found out this moment was going to happen, they turned it on.
Yeah.
Sports are like, everybody's attention span nowadays is just so small.
Mm-hmm.
So to be invested in these things that don't particularly matter for somebody that has a short attention span, it's hard to do that. Like, there's other things to get distracted by, and back in the day, it's like no one had social media, no one had cellular, phones, no one had, TikTok and Twitter and things and Netflix, right? Or Hulu, things to get like fully distracted by that they're like, oh, well, tonight, 7 p.m., it's the NBA All-Star game, right? Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, right? There's no like, hey, tonight there's 17 episodes on Netflix I got to catch up on. There's some other trash TV happening. There's Love Island tonight. There's this, that. Like,
so you're saying it's harder to get, like, it's got to really rise above for it to cut through and grab all of our attention.
100%. And that's the thing with today's world is like, there are so many other things to do, and not just do, but be distracted by, that to grab my attention, to grab someone's attention, it has to be pretty big. Or you have to be just like a sick NBA fan to watch.
Right.
I don't think they do a good enough job promoting it either. Because like I said, when I was doing that first update, I had it all written out and I was like, oh yeah, it's Tuesday. I think the Cup final game is tonight. And then I had to look it up. They do a good job of talking about it, but on the commercials, I'll just put like, oh, Knicks take on the Spurs. And then like the little corner will say Emirates NBA Cup, but they don't like actually hype up the Cup event to where oh, okay, every Tuesday and Friday is Cup games and stuff like that, to where they don't do a good enough job letting everyone know what is a Cup game and what's not.
The one thing I would say is by playing it on a Tuesday and not a Monday, because I figured with the Saturday semis, they would just play Monday, is at least you avoid the NFL. So tonight, not that Steelers-Dolphins was some iconic game, but the NFL, we know, is going to steamroll everything when it comes to its competitors in American sports. So you get a standalone night. If it's a good game, you will have the attention of sports fans. I'm not saying everyone's going to watch, but if it is a good game, you will see the social media chatter. You will have the attention of sports fans. It hasn't really grown on me, the NBA Cup, but I can't fully discredit it. Like, I think 3 years ago, I fully discredited it. Like, I was like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Now it's not the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. It's just dumb.
It's just whatever to me. It's just whatever.
Yeah, I think that's a good place to put it. I think it needs work is probably what I would say. Like, moving forward. And it's they still need to fine tune this thing. All right, final hour. We're giving away Aztec tickets for tomorrow night. So we'll do that on the other side. Padres continue to weigh their options with the offseason well underway on the other side of the winter meetings. We've got one more hour for you until 6 p.m., including those Aztec tickets for tomorrow night against Air Force at Viejas Arena. So hour 4 of Jon and Jim on San Diego Sports 760 and live on the iHeartRadio app is next.
All right, this update's brought to you by Staples Stores. We'll start with baseball news. Ha-Seong Kim signs a 1-year, $20 million deal with the Atlanta Braves. And tomorrow night, San Diego State takes on Air Force, 7 p.m. tip time, 6 p.m. pregame. You can listen to all the coverage right here on San Diego Sports 760. Have an easy holiday only at Staples. Save on custom cards and custom wrapping paper, plus shipping supplies and services to get your packages delivered safely. Don't miss out on select laptops up to 45% off. Visit staples.com for details. Staples, that was easy.
It's Jon and Jim.
Let's face it, in your particular field, you're the top minds.
Your favorite pair.
Interesting job you guys had.
Very smart and very modern.
They are Jon and Jim.
That's all you need to know about me.
Congrats to SDSU cornerback Chris Johnson, second-team All-American. And are the Padres on the verge of something huge? Now live from the studios of San Diego Sports 760, it's Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? Final hour of Jon and Jim. We do have some Aztec basketball tickets to give away for tomorrow night. Are you excited to do the final hour 15 tomorrow? Solo?
What?
Take that. Just run with it. You have creative freedom from, let's say, 4:45 on. Just run with it. Just wherever you want to go. I know a lot's on your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You can tease what's going on later in the week, right? You can, whatever you want to talk about. We have an hour and 50. It's like the Jim Russell show. I would love that in 2026.
Oh, you would?
Yeah, the Jim Russell show.
What about the John Schaefer show? Would you like that?
Not as much. Not as much, if I'm being honest with you. I wouldn't like that as much. The thing is, a Jim Russell show is much more pull-offable. I don't know if that's a word.
Huh?
You can pull off the Jim Russell show because you're not calling Aztec games. You're not traveling.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything.
Yeah.
So
I'm not doing anything.
I feel like the Jim Russell show could work. 4 hours a day, roughly. I'll tune in.
Let me answer that for you.
Mm-hmm.
How about no?
No Jim Russell show?
No Jim Russell show. No.
Would you ever want to do a solo show?
God, no.
It's a lot, right?
Like some people, I think having someone to bounce stuff off of consistently is a much better listen.
Yeah.
Than just one singular person talking into the mic.
Yeah.
Like some people can pull it off and be great with it. Like I do listen to podcasts that has just one singular person go. And they're great.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's amazing. They can go 3 hours and be, I mean, that takes a lot of preparation, but also takes a lot of skill to do that.
It takes even more skill to just do it on the fly.
Right. Is which we have done the last 4 years.
Well, we've done some solo shows, that's for sure.
We have done some on the fly solo shows, that's for sure.
Shows.
Yeah, some on the flies for sure. But no, I think a show with multiple voices is preferred. Like Colin does obviously his solo act, right?
But it's not really solo.
It's not, because he has Jason McIntyre. He bounces stuff off him all the time.
Yep.
And then he does a segment at the top of his show, and then he replays that in the third hour. And usually he just replays segments. So it comes off like he's doing a solo show, but he's just replaying his solo segments.
Mm-hmm.
Shocker. Take you behind the curtain, everybody. Dan does the solo act, but he has the Danettes.
Yeah.
He bounces stuff off them all the time. Dan Patrick or
yeah, we need Jimettes.
The Jimettes. Jim and the Jimettes.
Right? That's what we need.
How about John and the Johnettes?
That's what we're gonna need. That's what we're gonna need.
We're gonna need it.
Will the Carpenter in YouTube says bad take on the Chargers fan Jim. Do better.
What part of my take was bad?
I don't know. Yeah, if you're still here, please let us know what you're referring to.
The fact that the Chargers turned their back on the city of San Diego, yet fans are still buying merchandise of that team and doing exactly what Dean Spanos wanted you to do.
But okay, it is interesting when you put it that way, because I'm not as I'm like, let the fan. Like
I am let the fan too, but I'm also like, Jim got owned, LMAO.
He said owed, but yeah, I guess owned.
Oh.
I mean, I'm a to each their own. Now, 8 or 9 years ago, if you would ask me, yeah, I completely would have gotten it. Like, you got to turn your back. But 8 or 9 years later, I'm like, is it the fans' fault that ownership did what it did? And of course not. Everyone knows it's not the fans' fault. Now, and I get your point. Like, hey, they turned their back on you. You should turn your back on them. I respect that too. I guess I'm cool with no matter what people decided when it came to the Chargers. Gonna root for them, great. Not gonna root for them, understandable. Do they have less fans today than they had 10 years ago in San Diego? Yes, it's inarguable. There's obviously not more Chargers fans in San Diego than there were 10 years ago. I don't know if we'll ever get to the bottom of it, I guess is the point. Like the fandom in San Diego for that team after leaving.
I just relay what I would have done in that situation. And what I would have done is hate on the Chargers for the rest of my life.
Right. Yeah, all you can do, and I respect that. That's what you would do. That's completely cool.
Right.
I get it.
So my take comes from that angle, right? So if again, fan can fan, but from my angle, from my take, it's hard for me to understand a fan that was totally fine with it, went to them with LA, had no problem with it, and still roots for the Chargers just as hard as they rooted for them when they were in San Diego.
What do you find more odd? The fan that is still rooting for them, which, by the way, I completely understand. If you grew up watching games with your dad or your grandfather, grandma, mom, like, I get it. We talked about this earlier today. I forget what we were talking about. Like, what do you find more like unique, that or like being in LA and all of a sudden picking up the Chargers? Are there people in Los Angeles that have become Chargers fans? Who are those people? What were they doing previously? They're just looking for an NFL team to become a fan of. It's just like people out there in Los Angeles are like, oh, the Chargers are here. I'm on board. Like, who are the people that have embraced the Chargers since they moved to LA? I would love to hear from one of those people. Like, what was going on in your life that made you become a Chargers fan once they moved to LA?
Right. There's so many other things in LA. It's like, it's just, I would be fascinated to find those people too.
Yeah. I don't know. What were we talking about earlier in the day? Oh, is the Jim Bowden? Do you have the Jim Bowden sound, Brent? So Jim Bowden had the most ridiculous take about the LA Dodgers and fandom in general. And that somehow got us to the San Diego Chargers and the LA Chargers and the Chargers. But this was Jim Bowden, former Major League General Manager, on the Dodgers on MLB Network Radio.
I tell people as fans, you don't have to be a Pirate fan. You can retire as a Pirate fan or trade yourself to the Dodgers. If you want to see your team win, right now, the Dodgers have got the best chance to win a World Series again this year. So if you want to win, you as a fan, you can go to any team you want. You don't have to root for the team that's your home city. And you can see the Dodgers come play in your home city. They'll come into Pittsburgh and beat you. So look, if it bothers you that much, just become a Dodger fan. It's fine.
Just become a Dodger fan, Jim.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
So easy.
It's as easy as just, hey, I'll just become a Dodger fan. Sure. Perfect.
Let me tell Ben Fadden.
Ben, bro, just become a Dodger
Simple.
fan.
Just change your account from Talking Padres to Talking Dodgers. Boom, everything's fixed.
You would get way more views on YouTube.
Yeah, everything's easier, right? Why don't you just root for them?
Yeah, just start a Dodger channel.
Yeah, here's the problem with that. It makes zero sense. And again, there's something to be said for fandom within an area, right? Like, let's say you were a Bulls fan in the 90s, but you lived in San Antonio. Is it as unique of an experience as living in the city of Chicago and dealing with it with all the, what's the person in Chicago called? Chicagoans? Like, it's a more special experience. If the Padres are ever so lucky as to win a title, don't you want to be here to celebrate it? Or do you want to be in Ithaca, New York? I mean, you'll take it anywhere. Make no mistake. But you're going to want to be here. You're going to want to be in San Diego if the Padres ever win a title. And the idea of just changing fandom, well, again, I get it. Maybe you were a Chargers fan and they left and you picked up the Pittsburgh Steelers. Reasonable. The Chargers left. But by and large, just because your team isn't good is not a reason to change fandom. That's actually a reason to dig further in. And it makes it more special when your team wins, in my opinion. How many people just become like, oh, you know what? The Dodgers are really good. I'm going to become a fan. You know, how many people are just became? I guess there are people. I mean, Dallas Cowboys in the 90s, Chicago Bulls in the 90s, Patriots in the 2000s, Chiefs now. I mean, there are people that just become fans because the teams are really good. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, fandom doesn't have to be like, oh, I grew up here, so I have to be a fan of this team.
Yeah, but it feels to me like that. I kind of like that angle.
No, I do too.
I get it. You're right. It doesn't have to be that way.
Doesn't have to be that way. But like when you get to a certain age, it's like you're kind of set and it's hard to change your ways, right? And if you change, it's like me at 36 years old, if I was like, you know what, I'm going to become a Dodger fan tomorrow. I mean, that just even makes my skin crawl.
Right.
But like this this part of my life, it's like my teams are pretty set. I'm not changing. And if I change, I do a Jim Bowden saying, I don't know about that one. That's probably one of the worst takes I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because we're having two different conversations, this Bowden take and then this idea that can you still be a fan of the Chargers if they move? Like 858 says, you can't understand it until it happens to your team that you grew up and lived with your entire life, which I buy. I get it. It's like, what are you supposed to do? You know, I mean, nobody wants to see it ever happen with the Padres, for example, after we've seen it happen with the Chargers. But it's like, what are you supposed to do? You spent 50 years or 20 years or 30 years rooting for a team, and all of a sudden you don't root for them anymore. It's just it's kind of a weird conversation. I've never been a change fandom. Like that to me is it's far fetched. Like I don't think you can be as hardcore of a team once you've changed your fandom. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like that's how I see it. But again, it's also a different world with like fantasy and gambling and social and star power. Like I do think there's people that are fans of Steph Curry that maybe aren't diehard Warriors fans or fans of Shea. They may not be diehard OKC fans. I think they'll wear a Shea jersey. I don't know if that means they're going to, go crazy when OKC wins a title. So I think like sports have changed too.
For perfect example, for diehard Mavericks fans and fans that were in Dallas that loved Luka.
Yeah,
are they following Luka to the Lakers because they traded Luka?
Right.
My guess would be no. They love Luka, but they don't like the Lakers.
Yeah, to me, it's fandom over player, right? Or like team over player.
Yes. Now, if Steph Curry got traded tomorrow
you still have admiration for forever. You would, obviously.
Yeah, if he got traded tomorrow to like the Chicago Bulls, I wouldn't become a Bulls fan, but I would remain a Steph fan. I'd want him to succeed and do well.
That's completely fair. I respect that.
And as how did he get back in the chat? Anyway,
who'd you get rid of? Oh yeah, it's a new account probably.
But I mean, he does make a good point. Like civic pride is like sports and civic pride are match
tied
together.
Yeah,
they're tied together. And if people don't understand how important sports is to a city, I don't know I don't know what else to tell them. Like if you don't understand that sports and like the city revolves around sports, especially like during that time of year when it's on, like when the Padres are going, right? The city revolves around the Padres.
No doubt.
So
well said.
I don't know how to tell you any other way other than that.
No, I think that's fair. Again, the Jim Bowden thing made absolutely no sense. It's the easiest. I mean, it's the easiest bad take ever to make fun of. All right, we're here until 6. Jim's back page is coming up. Also, on the other side, we have a pair of tickets to see the Aztecs tomorrow night. So don't go anywhere if you want a pair of tickets to see the Aztecs tomorrow night against Air Force at Viejas Arena. We're giving those away next on Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760 live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, Jon and Jim, we will give away a pair of tickets to see the Aztecs tomorrow night, Viejas Arena, San Diego State, and Air Force. We'll give those tickets away coming up in about 8 or 9 minutes. What is your level of interest in the upcoming college football playoff, which gets underway in 3 days? Alabama, Oklahoma, Friday night, 5 p.m. Pacific, kicking off the 2025 college football playoff.
I'm very intrigued. How intrigued are you?
I'm intrigued. I don't know if I'm as intrigued as I was a year ago. I don't know if it's just because it's year number 2. I don't like the system, like how you're choosing teams. Not to say these teams aren't good. They are Alabama, Oklahoma. But I just don't like the system. Like, I love college sports, as we all know. But I can't be sold on this system. Like, I'm sold on the NFL system. You win your division, you're in. Your wild card, you're in. I just don't like the idea of people sitting in a room and being like, Miami or whomever,
right.
Whomever else. So that's the one part I'm having a hard time really wrapping my arms around. I guess once we get to the games, like Alabama, Oklahoma, that's terrific. In Norman, Miami, Texas A&M, that to me is intriguing. I know nationally there's been a lot of criticism of Tulane Ole Miss, which was played earlier this year. Ole Miss won by 31. Maybe 35, I think 31. And then James Madison in Oregon is coming up as well from Eugene. You're intrigued by what's to come?
Well, look, I can separate like the process getting here and how it came about was awful to, hey, we're here. There's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing anybody can do about it. There's games on, they matter. So yeah, I'm excited about that.
I like that. That's a good way to look at it.
Like the process, as you mentioned, the way they pick the teams, yeah, it's a joke. It needs to be fixed. It can't be like that. It can't be people inside of a room just watching games and be like, you know what, I think that team would be like, no.
Right.
There needs to be a better way to do that. But once I remove myself from being upset about that process to, we got Oklahoma, Alabama on Friday. Then on Saturday, we got a triple header, Miami, Texas A&M, Tulane, Ole Miss, and James Madison, Oregon. Like, yeah, sign me up. Yeah, and I'll watch all those games.
Yeah.
And you know what I'll do when I watch those games, Jon?
What?
Me, personally, I won't be thinking to myself, oh, man, wish Notre Dame was in. Or, oh, man, they didn't get this right. Like, I'm sure Notre Dame fans will do that because they're, losers. But, like, for me, I'm not sitting there being like, can't believe Tulane's in there. Like, no, Tulane's in. So I want to see what they do.
Yeah, I would agree with what you are saying. I think one of the other issues with this college football playoff, which was just like instituted as opposed to March Madness, which feels like it's just been a part of like American culture, is that you're trying to like fit it in like a square in a circle. Like you're playing these games, and this Saturday you also have like Eagles, Commanders, Packers, Bears, right? Like up against the playoff games is like Packers, Bears. Where up against March Madness is like days of our lives. Like the whole sports world revolves around Akron against Kentucky in like a 2:15 game, where that's not going to be the case when Tulane plays Ole Miss because the Eagles are going to be playing.
Right. That's the NFL saying we want to ruin every other sport's big time, days.
Right.
We want to ruin the NBA on Christmas, so we're going to put everything we have on Christmas now. We want to ruin the college football playoff, so guess what? We're going to put games on Saturday, and we're going to make it Eagles, Commanders, Packers, Bears. At the time they made those matchups, they probably thought to themselves, Jaden Daniels against the defending Super Bowl champions, absolutely.
Yep.
Bears against Packers, duh, of course.
Division
so
rivals.
We're going to make it impossible for the college football playoffs to get the ratings that they want because we're the NFL and we're greedy and we don't care about anybody else.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I completely agree with what you said. Like, again, I love the idea of the playoff. I the idea of it I love. But it feels like you're just kind of shoehorning it in, making it up as you go. Shoot, this 12-team format could be 16 next year and then 24 the next. And it just feels like we keep reinventing it. So I don't know. It's harder for me to fully get behind. To your point, once the games kick off, I'm in. Alabama, Oklahoma, in a couple of days, I'm in. Miami and Texas A&M, absolutely. I'm excited for the games. It's just there's something about it that just doesn't pass the full test for me.
I think the kind of funny, almost ironic thing is that, when we had the BCS, what did everyone bitch about? Oh, is we have to have some form of human element in there because the computer can't just look at, certain situations where a human would be like, well, obviously, you have to factor in these equations and the computer doesn't see that. So we got to get rid of the computer because we need human element into it. And now we have the human element and everyone's just like, yeah, I don't trust these humans anymore. And it's just like, what way are we going to do it? Because we couldn't trust the computer and we can't solely trust the humans. It's almost like we have to find like a happy medium with both of them.
I like the basketball way, which is if you win your league tournament you're in, and then the committee chooses the at-large teams, which is kind of what we're doing in football. But I don't feel like we fully committed to football what we're doing in basketball. Again, it's better than it used to be, dude. I mean, it wasn't that long ago where you're like, Auburn's undefeated and they're not playing for national championship. Okay. That doesn't make any sense. So I think we've made progress, but I think there's still more progress to be made, is my point. So yeah.
Absolutely. There's always nothing's perfect. And the college football playoff, my guess, John, is it will never be perfect.
Probably not. And it's probably going to change a lot in the years ahead.
And we'll probably get an expansion of the college football playoff to 16 teams. And even then, we'll still get people complaining about that.
I mean, I complain about numbers, 67 and 68 in the men's basketball tournament.
Right.
I mean, you're right. You're exactly right.
Yeah. Nothing is ever perfect in sports. Everybody will always complain, especially when you have a system like college football has, where it's not based off of actual like records. It's based off of like other factors like the school and the conference and this win and that win. And it's just, there's no good way to do this unless you just turn this into the NFL.
Right. Which is kind of where they're heading.
I know. Just make it the NFL. Screw it.
Yeah.
You guys are already paying these kids NFL money.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, the college football basically is turning into the NFL. I mean, I would guess in the next however many years,
10,
sure, we're gonna have probably 2 conferences, or at least that's what college football wants to do. Is they just want to say screw it. Let's just make 2 conferences, and let's just have this conference. And then the top, 8 teams in the conference against the top 8 teams in the other conference and just match it up.
I mean, we might be heading there. It's possible. You've heard about a super league coming.
I mean, they're already on their way to basically trying everything they can to ruin the sport. Like the sport has lost a lot of the, glitz and glamour about what made college football great in the first place. Right. With rivalries and conferences, and the bowl games are going to be extinct soon anyway, because why are kids playing in it? They're not. And NIL has ruined that. Transfer portal has ruined that. So yeah, this thing is going to be the NFL pretty soon, and it's going to, just make it happen sooner than later.
Call right now if you want Aztec basketball tickets for tomorrow night. Caller 3, you have 2 free tickets to see the Aztecs take on Air Force tomorrow night at Viejas Arena. 877-767-4760. Call right now. We have 2 free tickets to see the Aztecs take on Air Force tomorrow night at 7 p.m. at Viejas Arena. Where will the NBA Cup Championship be held next year? Adam Silver has just weighed in. We'll have the latest for you on the other side. Plus Jim's back page coming up on Jon and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by Staples Stores. We'll start with baseball news. Hassan Kim signs a 1-year, $20 million deal to return to the Atlanta Braves. And San Diego State takes on Air Force tomorrow night at Viejas Arena, 7 p.m. tip time, 6 p.m. pregame. You can listen to all the action right here on San Diego Sports 760. Have an easy holiday only at Staples. Save on custom cards and custom wrapping paper, plus shipping supplies and services to get your packages delivered safely. Don't miss out on select laptops up to 45% off. Visit staples.com for details. Staples, that was easy.
All right, Jim's back page coming up. I have something for the back page.
Oh, do you? Do you want to do the back page yourself?
No, I don't. I did want to mention this, that right now on Amazon Prime, before this is a true showdown. Knicks Spurs. Adam Silver just said future NBA Cup championship games could be played at quote unquote some storied college basketball arenas. Would you like to see Knicks Spurs at Cameron Indoor? Does that change your opinion on tonight, or at where, at Kansas or Kentucky?
No.
That doesn't change how you feel about this on Amazon Prime?
Yeah, that doesn't really do anything for me.
Yeah, I was kind of curious. It's kind of an interesting response. Like, oh, we're not going to go to Vegas. We're going to go to Cameron Indoor.
Like, okay.
And
do you just, why go to Cameron Indoor? Like,
I mean, I'm making it up. I don't know if it's Cameron Indoor.
It doesn't sound stupid.
It's not doing it for you?
Nope.
Okay, can I give you my back page 10 minutes before the back page?
Sure, go ahead.
Because we haven't touched on this and we spent 30 minutes on it last night.
Oh my gosh.
There's a women's basketball game, Brent. Yes, actually girls basketball, high school game yesterday in Nevada. And Max Preps, who like does all the high school stats, like you go to Max Preps if you have all the stats for every league, like everywhere in the country. They tweeted out the Del Sol, Nevada Lady Dragons remain undefeated, improving to 10-0 after a 104-1.
Yeah, I saw that
win over Cheyenne. And the replies are just everything you'd hope they would be on social media. And then Jim did the deep dive and he found you found highlights of the team that lost from their season this year.
Did you find the 1 point?
They didn't look awful. Did they look like a team that would only score 1 point?
Yes, they did. Here's what I found, because when you sent this to me, I was like,
amazing.
At first I was like what? That's stupid. Yeah. And then you started like sending me like replies, like, dude, look at the comment section. It's like, okay, looked at the comment section and I was losing my mind in bed last night. I was just like, Aaron's like, what are you laughing at? And it was some of the most hilarious comments ever. So what I did was I decided I needed to see this. Right. I needed to find actual video evidence of this beatdown. All right. I couldn't find any visual evidence of that particular game, but I did land on how do you say there? What's the school name?
Oh my gosh.
Cheyenne.
Cheyenne. Yeah.
Cheyenne. Yeah. I did land on the Cheyenne Max Preps page, right?
Mm-hmm.
This year they're 0-5. Somehow they're ranked 69th in the state of Nevada.
Well, there have to be 69 schools then.
Probably 69 schools.
Yeah.
And I clicked around on Max Preps and I finally found like game highlights.
Highlights.
From like recent, from like a week ago.
Right.
So I clicked on it and the first bit of highlight I see is this girl at the top of the key.
It's like drained a jumper, dude.
It was luck, dude. Do you see her shooting for it? It was like a heave. She like heaved it over her head. Okay. Somehow it made it in. She got fouled. She's celebrating like it's the greatest thing ever. She makes the free throw. It's 4-3.
Right. They're in it.
They're in the game. The next highlight where the team scores their 7th point, they're down 45-5.
Okay. Well,
so
the other team went on a run.
It went from 4-3 to 45-5.
What do you tell your team after a 104-1 loss?
That's a great question.
How do you keep them motivated?
We'll get him next time.
And also, what like I don't know. There's just something about that. That's just, what was the halftime like? Because they did score their 1 point in the first quarter. So we had the box score, and it was like 43-1 after one. I'm wondering, did they lead? Did they score first? Was it 1-0 before the 104 consecutive points? Like, it's just 104-1. Is that good for anyone?
No. What are we doing here? 100. Like, there has to be a mercy rule where, like, wave the white flag. Like, hey guys, it's 75-1 in the third quarter. Do we really need to play the fourth quarter?
Yeah, maybe running clock, or maybe just end it. Like, what do? We do
now
the run rule?
Now I did send you the box score.
Yeah, they scored a point in the first quarter.
Yeah, I want to know when they scored this point. Like, did they go up 1-0? Did they have a lead in this game?
That's what I want to know. That'd be incredible.
So let me just pull this up. So I sent you the box score. Here's the box score. All right.
Mm-hmm.
The first quarter, at the end of the first, it was 43-1.
So they were still in it at that point.
John, they were down by 42 points.
Better than 103.
Now, my guess is there was a running clock.
Yeah, maybe.
Because the next three quarters, or the team decided they're just going to play all their backups. Because the next three quarters, it was 18-0 in the second, 24-0 in the third, and 19-0 in the fourth. My guess is there was a running clock.
Or maybe the team said, let's just concentrate on our defense. Let's just pack
We're going to shut them out.
Let's play Bucks in one. Let's win this game on the defensive side.
How is this good for these girls?
Not good. It's not good. I'm with you on that. It's not good.
104-1.
Well, and by the way, Max Press, why are you sending that out as a graphic?
Because
they know what you're going to get.
They know what they're doing.
I mean, some of the comments are.
Dude, this comment's amazing. You sent me. No one shuts out Cheyenne, Nevada. No one.
Just ridiculous, dude.
What was another one you sent me? You're like, dude, the box scores. Someone put the box scores from the previous 5 games, and they're like, it won't be the last time either. Because the box scores from the last 5 games were they lost 82-4. They lost 43-18.
They were close in that one.
They lost 65-6. And they lost 52-14.
Dude,
this is not good for anybody. Why is there a girls team that's playing this? That's not.
They need some
fun.
NIL. Like they need a portal class.
Yeah, they do
to get that thing going. But yeah, I don't know. We both. I was like, what? How did this come across my timeline? 104-1. Like, come on, 104-1. Just ridiculous. But yeah, that's John's back page for today. We didn't even, honestly, how did we not play the Joel Klatt sound at any point over the last 2 days? Because I never grabbed it. When Joel Klatt was like, I hate March Madness.
Yeah, how did you not like?
Because I don't even want to deal with it because it's the easiest thing ever. It's like the sound we played earlier from Jim Bowden. It's the easiest thing ever to pile on. But like, it's kind of, the more I see it in my timeline, the more like infuriated I get that, I don't know. Yeah, there's been a lot of bad takes on social media, Jim, over the last 2 days.
Oh, really? You don't say.
There's probably been more than just those 2 bad takes, honestly, on social media the last couple of days.
Correct.
Now, okay, so tomorrow we've got San Diego State basketball. Busy week for the Aztecs. They're going to play Air Force tomorrow night, Arizona on Saturday in Phoenix, #1 team in the country. So we've got San Diego State basketball coming up this week, tomorrow night, again on Saturday. Then they play Monday afternoon, by the way, Brian. Did you realize that? Okay, they play Monday afternoon, non-D1 game. And then we've got San Diego State football as well a week from Saturday against North Texas in Albuquerque. So a lot of Aztec events coming up right here on San Diego Sports 760. We have you covered this week and next. San Diego State basketball and football right here on 760. We're going to take a time out. On the other side, my back page got you started. Jim's back page coming up on the other side. We are here until 6 p.m. This is Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app. All right, neither the Knicks nor the Spurs will be shut out tonight. They're underway in Vegas. 5-2 Knicks, Jim. 5-2. 90
Wow, just call the
seconds
game
in.
right now.
Yeah, with their defense, with their size.
Seriously.
5-2.
I like it.
Yeah, so they're just underway, and now 7-2. Jeez.
Do you think the game will end?
So somebody slow down the Knicks.
Right, break them up.
Commissioner Adam Silver saying tonight, bless you. Jeez. The NBA will decide in 2026 whether to expand or not, Adam Silver saying tonight. His first time he's put a timetable on whether to add to the 30-team league. NBA will decide in 2026 whether to expand or not.
Okay.
All right, so keep your eye on that.
I will. I'm sure San Diego's on the list, right?
The Sports Business Journal article says presumably to add Seattle and Las Vegas. Presumably.
Okay.
We'll be the first team out.
Great.
First, yeah, we'll be. No, Seattle and Vegas. I mean, it's coming to Vegas at some point. It's obviously coming to Vegas.
I mean, they're holding
every event there.
Right. The NBA Cup game. Vegas is on their short list. They would love to be in Las Vegas.
What if there was only one? Would it be Seattle or Las Vegas?
Give me Seattle. Seattle deserves it, not Las Vegas.
Completely agree. Completely agree with that. If there was only one. If it's two, it'll be interesting to see if it is Seattle and Las Vegas, or if another city does emerge, like America's finest. Jim, give me that talk.
I'll say
2026. Give me that talk, please. In 2026. All right, let's get to it.
We have a leakage problem, John.
Excuse me?
Leakage problem.
Where?
On the internet.
Okay, sure.
Is Alestra back?
No.
What's the deal?
We have a leakage problem when it comes to trailers for Marvel.
Oh, no. What happened?
So, Avengers Doomsday, John, is coming out next year. There is a trailer coming out on Thursday with the new Avatar movie that's being released.
Okay.
You excited about the new Avatar Fire and Ash movie, John?
Well, what does it have to do with whatever you just told me is coming out in 2026?
I'll get to that, but I asked you, are you excited about Avatar?
What is it about? Random avatars?
It's the movie that I watched when the Niners were losing in the NFC Championship game against the Eagles.
That's right. So
which I might have to go watch again by myself when the Niners play the Eagles, probably once again in the postseason this year.
This time they'll probably win, though. But yeah, no, I'm not excited.
Okay, me neither. But Thursday is when the new Avengers Doomsday trailer is supposed to drop. Well, the internet being the internet, somebody has decided to leak the trailer online.
Okay.
And it's just causing a giant uproar because people are watching this trailer, and I won't say anything, Brent, because Brent doesn't want to watch it, even though it's just a trailer. People are like, huh?
Why are they losing their minds? Because it's just, what's the problem with an early trailer release?
Nothing is wrong with it. I think people are like wondering, like, is this the real trailer or not? Because people don't know
Who would
yet.
make a fake trailer?
Lots of people.
Okay.
It's called AI.
That's why I asked.
Right. So people are like, hey, can we just get the real thing? Like, what's going on here? There's like leakages everywhere. And then earlier this afternoon, another leak with Marvel happened with Spider-Man.
I didn't see this.
What's it called, Brent? The new one, Spider-Man what?
Brand New Day.
Brand New Day. Spider-Man Brand New Day, which comes out next summer. A trailer for that movie got leaked online today.
So is there like a key culprit here? Is there a leaker?
There's a leaker in the building, and Kevin Feige, who is in charge of Marvel, might be doing some like Sopranos, like mafia type of thing here to whoever leaked these trailers.
Well, the rumor about the Avengers one, because I just heard about the Spider-Man one, was that they think that it's some movie theater employee. Because they probably got the Avatar.
Oh yeah, for sure. Overseas
cut or whatever.
Yeah.
They got the cut this week, and they screened it, saw the trailer, and then they threw it up online.
But again, it's like, what is the?
My thing is, I don't want to watch a trailer
if it's not real,
and then get excited and then have it be all BS and have none of it be real. So I'd rather just wait.
Here's the thing. There's not just one trailer for Doomsday. There's like multiple trailers. There's like 4. And they're not even like, I don't even know how to describe it because it's not like, oh, look at this movie. This was it about. It's like, I don't know. It's like vignettes.
And this is Doomsday?
Yeah, Avengers Doomsday.
I'm Googling it or whatever. I'm looking at Twitter. I don't see it.
Well, it's everywhere. Anyway.
Okay.
So, yeah, Doomsday and Spider-Man today, those got leaked. So there you go. Do you use Spotify, John?
Not a ton.
Yes.
I was going to ask, were you one of the people that was affected by the Spotify server going down earlier today or this week?
No, because I don't really use it. But secondly, like that to me is not a big deal because there's so many places you can consume music. iHeart, Apple Music. Like if I didn't have Spotify for an hour, wouldn't you just go to YouTube or somewhere else?
Probably, but a lot of people just like use Spotify. Anyway, Spotify was down for over 30,000 users.
Oh, 30,000? That's nothing, dude.
And people were losing their mind over it. But don't worry, everything's okay now.
Everything's okay?
Everything's okay.
Okay.
I use Spotify mostly because it's connected to the PlayStation. So if I want to listen to music while I'm playing games,
I like that.
It has to go through Spotify.
I like that.
And finally, Starbucks, John, just released how you can order a secret menu item, which is a cotton candy frappuccino.
Ooh, cotton candy.
Yeah. To order it, customers simply have to ask for a venti vanilla bean cream frappuccino with 3 pumps of raspberry syrup, topped with whipped cream. The result is a pastel purple blended drink that tastes sweet, creamy, and is reminiscent of cotton candy.
Can you imagine doing that though? I'm going to walk into one of these places randomly.
Oh, it happens all the time, dude.
They're going to look at me like I don't know what I'm doing.
Like enough sugar there, buddy. You're going to die.
Are you a Starbucks guy in general?
I can live without it.
But can you live with it? If you go in, what are you ordering, I guess?
I order like a tall iced white chocolate mocha.
Oh.
No whipped cream.
Is that like all sugar?
Basically.
Is the tall one taller than grande?
No, the tall one's like the short.
Oh, you get the small guy?
Yeah, I don't want to get a big thing. I just get like a small little one.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not anti-Starbucks, but I'm not going in and ordering your secret cotton candy drink.
Yeah, I'm not going in there and be like, can I get all the sugar, please? Like, give me all of your sugar.
Starbucks is an amazing concept, isn't it? The place is packed.
I know, all the time.
You go to the airport, the coffee place next to Starbucks has no one there, and there's a line down the terminal.
I know. It's amazing.
What is the marketing in that?
I think half of it is just there's so damn many of them. You know, there was that joke. There's a Starbucks on like every corner. It's like, yeah, I like Dunkin' Donuts more than Starbucks.
Sure,
because they have donuts. But you know,
okay, yeah. I'm not anti. I'm amazed by the marketing of it. I want to one day own something that has that type of impact on human beings, like the cultural impact of Starbucks on Americans. Like what? How'd that happen?
Well, it happened, John.
I want that for Jon and Jim in 2026.
I do too. Okay. Think we get it?
I want it to have a cultural impact. Okay. I want to see those ratings go up 0.1, Jim, in 2026.
How about go down 0.1?
I don't think that's possible.
It could be possible.
You don't get the joke.
I get the
joke. We are back tomorrow at 2 p.m. We have Aztec basketball tomorrow night, which means if you're listening at this time tomorrow, you're going to get Jim solo. So I'll be getting ready for Aztec basketball tomorrow night, 7 p.m. VA Haas Arena. San Diego State and the Air Force Academy pregame coverage will begin at 6 p.m. We've got a full Jon and Jim for you, though, tomorrow beginning at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we'll be with you tomorrow. If you missed anything today, congrats. Or go to sportssd.com
Congrats.
or the iHeartRadio app or TuneIn Radio or Spotify if it's not down. You can find us on Spotify as well if it's not down. Back tomorrow at 2 p.m. And for Brent and Jim, are you going to make it on time tomorrow?
We'll see.
All right.
Stay tuned.
For Brent and Jim, I'm John. Keep it here. This is San Diego Sports 760.
Okay.
Bye-bye.